Hello, everybody. I'm your host, Eric Bird, here at StopStrugglingNow.com. And tonight, I have to apologize for the late night SSN Nation Wednesday night live stream where it's members only chat. We normally start at 8:50 p.m. and here it is, 9:30 p.m. Well, again, I'm very sorry. I did an update within 30 minutes of the show, and as it turns out, it took 50 minutes. So here we are. Thank you for waiting. Hopefully, you'll continue to be here tonight, and we got a lot to talk about because, quite frankly, you guys know the topic of the day basically is something that we have to talk about, and that is 75 basis points from the Federal Reserve. But more importantly, don't miss your millionaire status, ladies and gentlemen. That's right. Money time is here. Let's go. You heard it. Now, that's what we're going to talk about tonight. So before I get into it, stop struggling now. Gear, check. And please like, subscribe, and click the bell below so you get the latest updates. Now, let's get to it. All right, everybody. Once again, we started this one late tonight because we got a computer update, which was pretty shocking. It took almost 50 minutes to happen, but that's the way of the world when we have this Microsoft, right? But anyhow, let's talk about it tonight. But before we get into this, please smash the like button. And if you like what we're talking about over the course of this video, please subscribe to the channel, click the all notification bell. But tonight, it's members only chat that can be in the chat room, those with the icon next to their name. That's what we do on Wednesday nights. On Monday and Friday, it's open. The chat room is open to everybody, but everybody can always watch. And after this live stream plays, if you have any comments, suggestions, or anything else, you can make them down below in the comment section. And also, while you're thinking about it, open up the description box down below because, you know, we're starting it off. Bitcoin is low. Might as well earn your free Bitcoin from mining using your computer, using cell phone, using your tablet. That's right, using your computer power. You know, some of you have computers lying around. You might as well power them up and join your own network and mine some Bitcoin. The link is down below. Now, we're going to get into that millionaire status. You're going to miss out on it. But first, let's see who's in the house and let me know who received the YouTube notification or who saw the YouTube notification and trailer. Please let me know. Auntie Val is in the house. Welcome to the SSN Nation Wednesday night live stream where it's members only that can be in the chat room tonight with the icon. And in case you're new from around here, she's known as Professor Auntie Val. And she says her tagline, good evening, fam, with the heart, with the strength and the support. Thank you so much, Auntie Val. Thank you, thank you. And she says, received the notification. And Laverne Penix is in the house. Welcome to the SSN Nation Wednesday night live stream with the members only chat that can have the icon is in the house. And he has his tagline in tow. He says, hello, SSN Nation. I hope everyone is doing well. Let's make some money. That's what we're trying to do here, ladies and gentlemen, because you know the federal funds rate went up. That means if you're planning on borrowing, the cost of borrowing just went up as well. Now, that doesn't mean inflation is going to stop because it's not. And if you're new here, Laverne Penix is also known as AKA Mr. Cool. He's in the house tonight. I don't know if he's still hanging out in the DR with Mrs. Cool, but thank you so much for being here. I appreciate it. Received a notification. That's 2 people, ladies and gentlemen. That is a good thing. Hey, there you are. That's right, Auntie Val. Thank you so much for being here. Hey, boss and SSN fam from Vanessa Comagate. Welcome to the SSN Nation Wednesday night live stream. I appreciate that you're here with the icon, and we're doing fine. We came out late, but we're still swinging, ladies and gentlemen. You know, the show must go on, but this is just like business. Just because you have problems that arise, it's how you handle the problem that matters the most. Do you just shut down, go away, and say, I'm not going to do it at all? Or do you figure out a way around it, through it, over it, under it? That's what you have to do going forward, ladies and gentlemen, because plenty of obstacles are going to be in your way. It's not all about finances sometimes. There's other obstacles that can happen, but you have to be prepared for those obstacles. So again, Vanessa Comagate, that's 3 people with the icon and received a notification. Thank you so much for letting me know and being here. Curtis Davis is in the house. Welcome to the SSN Nation Wednesday night live stream. He has the icon next to his name as well. He has his tagline in tow as well. And it says, good evening, SSN family, ABMM. And in case you're new here, ABMM means always be making money. And if you always be making money, that means you can get to the millionaire status, because you're going to need 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 streams of revenue, income coming in, passive income if you can get it. But the bottom line is income has to start coming in, because inflation, 15%, 20%, 25%. And now if you're borrowing and you have loans out or you have credit cards, some of you may be getting some paperwork from your credit card companies when you log in and saying, please sign this new agreement. That's so they can increase the interest rate on you. All right. And they may not even have to have you sign an agreement. So again, the cost of debt is going to rise, ladies and gentlemen. Now, millionaire status. A lot of you are sitting there going, okay, I hear you, get to it. Here it is, ladies and gentlemen, 0.75%. They're talking about historic. We talked about this on Monday. 50 basis points, 75 basis points, which is what they did. Okay, but they're counting that as historic. I was saying, why not be historic and go with 1%? So, okay, so just so you guys understand, 75 basis point, if they call historic like 1994, that's the last time they've done it, 0.75. Okay, that's not historic to me. I want to hear something like the last time you did that, it was like 1960. That's historic to me. Or how about it's never been done before? That's historic to me. This stuff about it's historic and they did it like 30 years ago, I'm like, that's not historic. Again, changing these words around, again, matters. And trying to say things like historic makes it seem like they did something extraordinary when in fact they just did ordinary. Because when we had a savings and loan crisis in the late 80s, early 90s, this is a similar kind of thing that happened after in the 1980s, when somebody was doing tax cut, tax break program, trickle down theory program, caused all this money supply situation, inflation rising, same scenario. So they had no choice but to do 0.75. What's the difference? That's not historic. Historic would be like if we're talking about 1800s or something, 1900 or something, 1940 or something. I mean, come on now, 30 years, that's not historic. Are we going to start saying anything that we've done over the last 20 years or 30 years and it's the highest we've ever done something? You're going to start calling that historic? Please. Now, how are you going to make money, ladies and gentlemen? Real estate. It's going to start coming down because people now, that extra 0.75% yesterday or Monday, I think we looked at bank rates on Monday, and I believe it was 5.2 was the average for the VA. So now if it's 5.2, you have to understand even the VA is going to move up. It could be 5.8, 5.9, 6.0. But ladies and gentlemen, don't be confused. Ordinary citizens who are not lucky enough to have a VA loan situation, your loan packages went from like 5.1 and they're going to be 6.0, 5.85, whatever they're going to be. But some people, unless you have that 760 or higher, you're going to have to be paying somewhere near 7%, 8%, That's right, ladies and gentlemen. And when you start doing this with real estate, remember, whatever the percentage is, you base that on $100,000. So if something costs $500,000 and your loan is 7%, 7 times 5 is 35. That means you're going to be paying $3,500 per month. And you know your debt to income ratio has to be almost 3 to 1. So that means you have to make over 10 G's, which means that's 120 G's a year without having any other loans. And if you have other loans, then you're going to have household income of around 150, 160. I'm just letting you know. So that means homes aren't going to be selling that much. So that means they're going to come down in value. So let's just sit back, relax, and take the ride, ladies and gentlemen. You don't have to go out here and buy any real estate right now. And I'm referring to this, we're talking about single family homes. We're actually talking about condos. We're not even talking about multifamily stuff where you get the passive. But what we're talking about here is you're putting yourself in position to when you buy a house, you're paying for it, putting in your hard-earned money. You want to have appreciation, right? So now those people that did not sell their home in the last like 8 months, 7 months, 6 months, and it didn't get sold, you now may have to start reducing your price. You're going to lose some equity potentially. So while Wall Street is out here dancing around and they have this temporary pop in stocks like today, because that's basically what Wall Street wanted. They wanted the 0.75. They didn't want the 1%. And at 50 or 100 basis points, and then they wanted 50 basis points, they would have considered too weak. So the stocks would have went down. They already told Powell. How are you going to tell somebody before the stock market opens that, oh, if it's 0.75, it's good for the market, so stocks are going to go up? How do you know that? Don't you have to have demand for the stocks? Like, how do you know there's going to be demand because it went up 0.75? It's easy, ladies and gentlemen, because you guys here in the SSN Nation already know the answer. The top 10 percenters control 89% of the stock market. So all that cash on the sidelines, they raised the interest rate 0.75. They said, oh, we got to go buy some more of our stock now, ladies and gentlemen. And then along the ride, we'll have the ordinary citizens, the OCs, they'll come along for the ride because they see the pop in the stock market as well. See how they play us, ladies and gentlemen. But nonetheless, stay true to form. These guys haven't done anything yet. By the way, how do you become a millionaire status? Real estate is going to go down, just like I talked about on Monday, because they're going to have to raise the interest rate another 50, 60, 75 basis points in 3 months from now. Interest rates are about to get, 1970s, ladies and gentlemen. Some people are going to be paying double digits for their house. 10%, 9, 10 is double digits, 11%. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, it's going to be approaching that, especially if you have a 680, 700, 720s. You're going to be approaching that. So just stay tuned. We're going to sit there and watch, and then we're going to pounce. That's how you get your millionaire status, right? Okay, James Way, welcome to the SSN Nation Wednesday night live stream. Thank you so much for being in the house with the icon next to your name. And he says, the rent too damn high. You got that right. Hello, everybody. Got the notification. Hello to you too, James Way. Thank you so much for being here, and everybody being here, even though I started late tonight. Thank you. I appreciate you coming in. All right. Don't forget, everybody, smash the like button because the YouTube guys need to know that we're here in the house. All right. James Way, he always says the rent is too damn high. Victor Marrero, welcome to the SSN Nation Wednesday night live stream. And he has the icon next to his name as well. And he has a tagline, ladies and gentlemen. Hello, all. Let's do this. And that's right. That's what we tried. Let's do this is a slogan, is a tagline. That's what we're talking about here. And thank you once again, Victor Morel, for being here, showing the support with the icon. And even here when I'm an hour late. No, almost damn near. All right. Curtis Davis. Wow. Many people don't make 130K. Exactly, Curtis Davis, aka Mr. Financial. And if you're new here, ladies and gentlemen, once again, we have people that understand the power of extra streams of revenue, understands the power that you might want to do a podcast. You might want to start your YouTube channel. Well, guess what? You can get some other financial information, updates throughout the day and evening from Chili Davis. That's right, Curtis Davis, his alter ego, Chili Davis. You can go to his YouTube channel and get stock updates throughout the day, and you never know when he's going to drop it. It could be morning, afternoon, or evening, or even late night. You never know. And that information can help you make financial decisions, ladies and gentlemen. Part of the financial literacy course here. But again, I said course. Guess what else? SSN Academy, SSN University. This is the no guru zone, ladies and gentlemen. No charge. You heard? All right, let's get down. Gary White is in the house. Welcome to the SSN Nation Wednesday night live stream where it's members only that can be in the chat room. Those with the icon, everybody else can watch. And he says, good evening, SSN family. Good evening to you too, Gary White. Thank you so much for being here. He has that end of the tagline. Let's get it. And that's what we're trying to do, because millionaire status is what we're trying to get at. The first move, pay attention. Get your prices locked in right now on property that you're highly interested in for living personally. All right? Because on the other side of the coin, here's your playbooks. You're going to buy property very, very cheap here in the next 6 months to a year. Then over time, after the feds have got the interest rate way up, all of a sudden they're going to start doing historic rate cuts. 0.75, 0.5. All right. And when that happens, that spurs people to buy more real estate, which now means 5, 10, 20% annually, your appreciation of your property goes up. So ask yourself something. If you can afford it, it's all based on what you can afford. But ask yourself something. If you own a house that's $200,000 and it goes up 20% a year, that's $40,000, right? But if you own a house that's $600,000 and it goes up 20%, that's $120,000 in equity. See how the rich get richer? Do I have to explain again? One person who bought a $200,000 house because it dropped from 400 to 200, he says, oh, that's the house I want. Price goes up 20% year over year. You only get 40,000. The guy that bought the $1.2 million house and it dropped 50% for 600,000, his went up 120,000 more. That's a lot of equity, ladies and gentlemen. That is the difference. That's the opportunity that you're going to have, especially since homes right now, what are 428,000 is the median income for real estate, right? Median. Okay, let me explain the reason why it's not average. Average would be we would add up all the homes for sale or sold, and then we would divide it by the number of homes. That's average. Median is when you take the price of all the homes and then split straight down the middle, 50, 50, 51, right in the middle, $428,000. Average is different. Average is probably going to be higher, but we'll stick with the median number, 428,000. So that's why I use that 200,000 number, because you could find a situation in the next 12 months, 6 to 12 months, where a $400,000 house, $450,000 house, you'll be able to pick up for 200,000, 225, 250. And if it goes up 20%, you only making 40, 50. But if you made that decision and said, you know what, I'm going to roll with this program. I'm going to go up here to this other high-end type neighborhood, $500,000 homes that drop from a mill, or $400,000 homes in some neighborhoods that used to be $900,000. And you're sitting there saying, wow, this is 400. But see, there's a difference. 20% on 400 is 80. So you think might as well live in a better, comfortable neighborhood, better house, custom homes, and the appreciation when it happens, you earn more equity. Then you can turn your equity into using that for passive income. All right, millionaire status. That's what you're going to be working on, ladies and gentlemen. All right, that's the first thing. That's if we're talking about your ordinary citizen. Even if you're not, that's your playbook. Now, Leah Dennis is in the house. Welcome to the SSN Nation Wednesday night live stream with the icon, with the members only chat room tonight, and has the tagline, "Good evening, SSN family." And I also received my YouTube notification. Thank you so much. That's about 4 people this evening. Thank you for letting me know, Leah Dennis. And very happy to see you. And everybody else that has joined us, please make sure you smash the like button. Because again, the YouTube gods and everybody else needs to know that we're live right now. And that's why you can ask questions if you're members of the channel. How do you become a member of the channel? Well, you have to join. There's a join button somewhere. I just don't know where it is. But if you want to subscribe, please subscribe to the channel. This is what we talk about a lot, ladies and gentlemen. And you're going to have to stay on board. Make sure you come back, because they don't like sending out YouTube notifications usually. But every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, we have live streams in the evenings, 8:50 p.m. Monday, 8:50 p.m. Wednesday, 9:10 p.m. on Friday night. Make sure you come back, because there's lots of things that mainstream media, I don't even know what that really means. There's lots of things that people tell you that we talk about, but in a different way. All right. Just like I rarely hear anybody talk about median house prices, right? Then they never really give you the playbook, because playbook is in real time. I can't write a book about what I would do in real estate in 2001, because it's not 2001. We got to deal with the playbook in 2022 in June, where they just now raised the interest rate at the historic level of 75 basis points. All right. So that's what we have to talk about, because we're in a whole different ball game right now. This ball game that's coming up, inflation, prices are still going to go up. Food's not going to be on the shelves. All right. You guys have to understand, this is about to be something that's totally different. I don't care if the stock prices go up. All right. So you guys got to stay focused here. Victor Marrero says folks are not used to interest rate over 6%. Exactly. We had it nice last year, 2% to 3.5. Exactly. A 400K plus home, I'll argue you have to bring in 150K a year at least. He's exactly right. Actually, you won't make debt to income otherwise. He's right. You guys know I was when I moved from my place 3 years ago, I was going to go buy a place in Sacramento area, and it was 500 G's. And for me to qualify, I had to show them that I had income of 150,000 for 500. What he's saying is, see, the interest rate though was only around 3% though. See, that's the difference. Now that you're going to be at 6%, the price has to be even lower. So that's why now you're going to need 400 G's. Now he's right. It's going to be, you're going to have to show where you have household income. Whether you live, if you're single or married, you need to show at least about 140, 150, maybe even 160, because we haven't even ran the numbers. That's 600. That's 6 times 4. That's 2,400. So that's what it's going to take. It's going to be in the hundreds, ladies and gentlemen. And that's why home prices, you think I'm joking? Home prices, real estate prices are going to drop. And it's not unconceivable or inconceivable that it wouldn't be 50% off, because you know why? It's historic, ladies and gentlemen. Every time there's a meltdown, real estate prices go 60%, 50, somewhere between 40 and 60% down. And depending on how many homes are in that area that are in foreclosure, in default, how many people, realtors or developers bailed out on projects that are around there. Let's face it, ladies and gentlemen, wherever there's space, there's projects that were going on in real estate. Developers are going to make things even worse, because they're going to file bankruptcy, go out of business, leave people hanging. They're going to have unfinished subdivisions. All kind of havoc's about to occur Nothing's going to be different. All right. So, once again, get yourself ready, buckle up. If you want millionaire status, that is the easiest way, because otherwise you're going to have to do the old fashioned way. All right. And you know what the old fashioned way is? You're going to have to earn it. And meaning earn it, you're going to have to take high risk. You're going to have to start a business. You're going to have extra streams of revenue. If you don't want to start a business, then okay, fine. But you're then going to say, okay, Eric, then what do I have to do otherwise than that? Well, you're going to have to buy equities, stocks. SSN Nation members already know millionaires. What do they own most? Guess what, ladies and gentlemen? It's not real estate. It's not your house that you live in. They mostly own multiple businesses and they own equities. Those are the two combinations that get you there. Side hustles, okay. We talk about that, but you can start somewhere. Just when you start on YouTube, there's people making full-time money, 100,000 a year or more on YouTube, 100,000 a year or more doing a podcast, millions of dollars or more because they have a podcast and YouTube channel. And then they do Patreon groups, cash apps, all this other extra streams of revenue, sell courses. All right. So you can do that, ladies and gentlemen. You have the computer. You can make it happen. And that's why some of you may be saying, hey, Eric, I can't get in with that. And then I say, don't worry about it. That's why I started SSN Lifestyle, because not everybody wants to start their own business because they don't think they can make it happen. But then you can send somebody over to a website, right? Just like down below, you can get your free shares of stock from Robinhood and Webull. And then some of you aren't taking advantage of getting more free stock because you don't want to go in the app and then get your link and share on your social media and let other people know that they can get free shares of stock. You don't want to do that for some weird reason. But if you do that, then you get more free shares of stock. And think about this. There's a lot of y'all who went to go see this Top Gun Maverick, right? Some of you went to go see, what was that, Aquaman show, right? That's the biggest DC one, $1 billion they earned. And then you told somebody for free, you were like, yeah, those are great movies. They're good movies for free. But you aren't going to tell people how to get free shares of stock. You're not going to tell people how to get free Bitcoin using their computer. They don't have to even go out here and get rigs. You're not going to tell anybody any of this? Come on now. It's dyers out here, ladies and gentlemen. All right, Butch, with F in go, in case you're new here, that's fingernails to go, ladies and gentlemen. That's right. Said Vegas went well. Exactly. Financing for vending unit, not small one yet. Oh, financing for vending unit, not small one yet. Okay, then there's something going on, ladies and gentlemen, because I know damn well he is. Okay, let me go look this up. You know why I say this is because they had it on their website, and I figured $89 or $99 a month. I wouldn't think it's the $20,000 vending machine. I'm going to go over here and look on their website, see if it's still up here. No, it's not here. Not here. So he must have changed it. And by the way, I did email him, and he emailed back about 2-3 weeks back. But yeah, it was on the website. So that's why I asked him about it. I said, what's this $89, $99 per month? Is that for the countertop? And I thought his response was, yes, it was. But if it wasn't, I can't see how the freestanding vending machine type is going to be $99 a month, because that thing's 20 G's. 30 G's when you include the placement, because they place you into fingernails to go. And once again, if you're an SSN Lifestyle member, remember, membership has its privileges. You will be able to invest in the business opportunity of fingernails to go and earn passive income, ladies and gentlemen. That's one of them. There's more coming, so stay tuned. But that's cool. Let me know if you know what the monthly price is for that fingernails to go. And in case you're not familiar with fingernails to go, It's fingernails, the number 2, then go.com. You can go check it out. All right. And you can see for yourself, or you can search the channel. I have a video on fingernails to go, but it's a standalone where you put your hands under a printer, and the ink is specially made by HP for humans. So it's not going to mess up your skin, and you can make any design that you want. So now the sky's the limit as far as business for you. You can actually do a business. The countertop unit is I think it's 3,500 USD. And then, like I said, the standalone vending machine where you walk up in a mall, for instance, that one is $20,000. But if you are going to have it placed, that means it's about another, you're going to prepay a year in advance. I don't know if they've changed things, but it was a year in advance for the placement in the mall because they have a deal with Simon's. So that's going to be another 10 grand, roughly. I'm just using that as an example. I don't know for sure if it's 10 grand, but all I'm saying is it's not unreasonable to be $1,000 a month. They have special deal. So, and malls aren't what they used to be, but nonetheless, you still have traffic there, and you can make your profit back within 6 months, even for a small amount like $25 or $30. That is crazy. That is awesome. So just think about it. 20 nails, you design each one separately, and that means sky's the limit. Sporting events, special events, and any design in itself means just that. Anything that you can load into the computer system, they can print it on your nail. That is very, very powerful. And we won't even get into the other powerful one, which is the countertop unit, because countertop means cash and carry. That's what I calling it. Cash and carry, as far as I'm concerned. A lot of you may not know there's a new type of thing. It's not even new really, but nail technicians, we'll use that term, come out to your home and want to charge you like $125, $150, $200 because you want those specialty things. And gonna take how long? 30 minutes, 45 minutes, an hour, hour and a half to make those special designs, when now you have the countertop, handheld, or the vending machine, and in like 3 minutes you have them all printed out for you. And now you're at the business of putting on whatever you need to put on. I don't know everything, the gloss, the covers, whatever you do. I don't know how it actually works, but all I'm trying to say is you then cut your time down potentially to less than 10 minutes. And you have 20 nails that you design because you know you're going to an event 2 weeks from now. So you already have your nail set ready. You know you're going to another event a month from now. You already know what dress you're going to be wearing, or what shoes you're going to be wearing, or what purse or luggage or whatever you're going to be carrying with you, what suit you're going to be wearing. You know, might as well get this done now. Print it out. See what I'm saying, ladies and gentlemen? This changes the game. This gives you flexibility. That's why this is going to be, the cash and carry is going to be very, very powerful as well. So anyhow, Wilson Koo's in the house. Welcome to the SSN Nation Wednesday night live stream. With the icon is Wilson Koo. Good evening, Mr. Bird and SSN family. Good evening to you too. And everybody, please pay attention. 100% facts. That's what we're dealing around here. And I sell money, meaning Wilson Koo's is saying he sells the money. He gets loans to you, ladies and gentlemen. Not only can he find loans, let's talk about something else. He has people that are telling him, hey, do you have land? If somebody has land, we will enter into some sort of deal. And can you fund us too? They're like, yes. Wilson Koo has all type of operational situations going on with regard to funding, financing, leasing, rehabbing, everything under the sun. You got to contact Mr. Koo. If you have a program and you're sitting there thinking, hey, I want to do this, I want to do that, but conventionally, it can't be done because you're going to a conventional lender. Well, I suggest you talk with Wilson Koo, because you're going to sit there and say, hey, Eric, I don't have I found $1 million thing that I want to do, but I don't have the money for that. But then you say, hey, wait a minute. I have control of the asset. That's first battle. $1 million status. You have control. If you have control, then you might want to talk with Mr. Koo because he might have a program where somebody says, I think I want to invest in your business or I want to join to be partners. They will fund it. They will share some of the profits. Ladies and gentlemen, this is unconventional, I know, but if you want millionaire status, you have to think outside of the box. Don't think conventional. Don't think like a normal banking scenario where you got to walk in a bank and be like, they're like, how long you been in business? 1 year. How much do you have down for this $1 million? I got $250,000. Oh, you meet our 25% criteria. Well, since you've never done anything before, let me see your credit. Oh, I'm sorry. Your credit score is 680. Sorry, we can't help you. All right. So that's what I'm saying. You need to talk with Mr. Koo. And then what do you do? How do you get in touch with him? Okay, 2 ways. support@stopstrugglingnow.com. Send me an email. I will forward it to Mr. Koo. Or write this down. Make sure you have a pen, pad, and paper ready. Quick, QUIK, easyfunds.com. QUIK, E as in Eric, Z as in zebra, funds.com. It's that simple. In fact, why don't I just do this? I'll put in the chat room. Make it easy for you guys. Because let's just face facts. Interest rates are rising. If you don't get it now, I hate to say this, but in about another 3 months, the interest rate's going to go up a whole nother point. So you might as well get busy. All right. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. 2 ways for millionaire status. We have to deliver here, ladies and gentlemen. You know, we talk a lot of smack here. I mean, not we, me, but you know, we still have to deliver on the millionaire status scenario. How do you get there? All right, Wilson Koo showing the love. Good evening on TV. Laverne P, Vanessa K, Victor M, Vanessa K, James Way. All right, showing the love. Laverne Penix. Hello, Mr. Koo. I hope all is well with you. There we go. The Rich 1% by Curtis Davis. Mr. Financial, own all assets at rock bottom prices. Exactly. Real estate, stock, crypto, because banks are on their side. Get info early. There you go. He done laid it down, ladies and gentlemen. You're always thinking, damn, how do I always get left behind? How do I find out about it last? Guess what? You're finding out about the playbook first, ladies and gentlemen. Now it's up to you to pay attention at this point. Do your own research, do your own diligence, and then just watch it happen, unfold. But again, you have to have a plan. Make your plan now. If you say, hey, I want to go get this house over here in this neighborhood, and you're sitting there going, man, I love this house, and it's $450,000 right now, sit back and relax. When it drops to 400, then when it drops to 375, then when it drops to 325, now you're going to have to start making decisions. You're going to have to be like, okay, am I going to wait till this? Is this going to drop to 280? Is this going to drop to 250? That's right. Patience, ladies and gentlemen. That's the key. Just because there's a little upsurge today in the stock market, because, you know, Chairman Powell, he called me up and said, Eric, you know, we're going to do 0.75, right? That's what you wanted, right? That means you're going to buy more shares of stock, right? You know, make it look good, right? Yep. We're all on the same team, buddy. I got you. Come on now. That's how we're going to do it. But what we're not going to tell you is that was just euphoria for the day. We'll talk next week. All right. We'll talk at the end of the week, Friday, Monday. We'll see how it's going then. All right. But anyhow, the point is just what he's saying here. Remember, the top 10% own as much wealth as the bottom 70% combined. All right. They're holding most of the assets. Do you really think they're going to let the assets stay at rock bottom prices forever? Hell no. And that's why you have to pounce and take advantage when the opportunity arises. And that's how you get to millionaire status a whole bunch faster than saving $200, $300 a month for 20, 30 years. Because equity, you're not sweating for the equity. And that's why you're going to have to think long and hard about your rock bottom price. And when this stuff goes, my rock bottom price, 50%. Let's just put it plain and simple. 50%. That's my rock bottom price. And I'm going to tell you guys one other thing, because you guys know I'm not in Cali right now. But I'm just going to say one thing. I used to love where I lived. Cali's expensive. But I will say one thing. The only way I can go back, or will go back, is I'm going to move back to where I used to live. And I'm going to pay 50%. It's simple. Rock bottom price. Or maybe even 60. That would even be better, because that could go that way this time, ladies and gentlemen. But I'm just trying to tell you, this is, if you want millionaire status, these are the moves that you're going to have to make. All right. And think about some other moves. Let's go to number 3. Let's go to number 3. I'll give you a number 3. Let's think about this. All right. So think about this real estate again, ladies and gentlemen. Think about that. There's going to be a house around there. Think about this. There's homes in southern states that are selling for $200,000 right now that were built in the last 3 years. Whether it's this year, last year, the year before. They're relatively new, right? Think about this. There's going to be homes that were just built in the last 3 years that's going to be 2,000 square feet, 3-bedroom, 2-bath, nothing crazy, that you're going to be able to pick up for $100,000, maybe even less. Another opportunity. The reason why I say that's another opportunity for you is simple. Think about if you bought a $100,000 home, how much easier it is to pay that off in full eventually in a shorter period of time, not 30 years. But think about it, $100,000, $120,000, $130,000 home, relatively new, built in the last 3. I'll even bounce it out to 5 years. Now, think about any time that there's a problem with the economy, you have a house that is so cheap and you're probably going to pay it off in a short time. You can rent it out, have them pay for it if you don't want to live there. But here's the thing. Let's go with the playbook that this is going to happen again, what's happening right now, okay, in about 8 to 10 years. All right? So imagine you have that 50% house already. Then you picked up that cheaper little house. Imagine that other house goes up. And then you decide, hey, I doubled my money from 500 to 1 million. I have $500,000 equity. And then you say, I'm just going to wash, rinse, and repeat. I'm going to take that 500,000. I'm going to go to my home over here that's paid off free and clear. You have your big ass duffel bag of cash handy. And then when the housing prices go back down again, you're going to pounce again. That's going to be your ultimate program. That's what you should be looking at, ladies and gentlemen. All right. So just so you know, that's number 3. And that's the ultimate way you can do it, because there's going to be a lot of people saying sell, sell, sell right now. Hey, Koo Man from Vanessa Comagate, he told me that anything under 5K is too low. Anything under 5K is too low. Okay, you're going to have to let me know what that means, Vanessa Comagate. All right, offering 24 to 60 month financing. Okay, I like that. We're talking about fingernails to go, ladies and gentlemen. That's another program. That's a business that you can start. And remember, if you want wealth, you have to create businesses. That's why the Shark Tank exists. These guys, they're billionaires. But guess what? You don't see them sitting on the sidelines saying, I have billions. They're still out there going, I need more companies. I need more revenue. They're using companies as revenue. All right. There's a distinction. Just keep that in mind. That's why you want to invest in companies. That's why SSN Lifestyle, I got to keep saying this. That's why we're doing what we're going to be doing over there, because we want investments into companies. So we have revenue coming in. It's good enough to invest in whatever you want. But when you start doing ring of fire activities, AKA Shark Tank, where you're getting your hands into businesses that generate income, profits, and you receive profit from that investment, that is what top dogs do. That's what you have to do, ladies and gentlemen. And there's going to be plenty of businesses that you can pick up. Think about this. You get, in fact, that just reminds me, I got to do a video about businesses. So I can show you guys. You can look for businesses online that's available, and you will be shocked. Hell, you can go to Craigslist, and people put their businesses up on Craigslist. They will say things like, I want $60,000. All right. Because they have a little cafe, let's say, right? And remind you, restaurants are highly volatile. What I mean by that is restaurant business is very, very hard. The odds of you being around after 1 year is slim from a startup standpoint. So that's why if you're going to do business in a restaurant industry, why not get somebody that says, I got $200,000 of profit coming in per year or revenue. And after that, I only make, 90 G's a year. And then you go in and you find out his company, they still make 90 G's a year. Somebody else is running it, right? The employees, they're running it. That's what you're looking for. You don't want to go in there and buy it and then you're working there. That would defeat your purpose. But then that person turns around and says, yeah, we're selling it for $120,000 and I'm willing to take $40,000 or $50,000 or $20,000 down payment. I'll carry it. Why would he do that? Because he knows that they're making 9 G's a month. So he says, okay, give me $20,000 down, pay me $4,000 per month for X amount of time, and then we're good. He knows if you default, he just gets it back and you lose all your money. You, on the other hand, get in cheap because he doesn't care. There's profits. So think about it, ladies and gentlemen. This is the time that you start looking around. You can even go to Craigslist, for God's sakes. All right. Never mind just Google businesses for sale. All right. But anyhow, there's millionaire situation number 4, right? And by the way, my old boys, situation number 9 by Club Nouveau. All right. Shout out to Jay. Hope you're doing great, man, in Sacktown. Andy Ortiz. Welcome to the SSN Nation Wednesday night live stream where it's members only that can be in the chat room. And he has the icon next to his name, which gives him that access. And he says, what's up, everybody? What's up with you, Andy Ortiz? Hopefully everything's going great. And by the way, isn't there something called Father's Day coming up? Mother's Day just was a month ago or so. But here's a perfect thing. Andy Ortiz does Amazon. And some of you may not be taking advantage of those using your Amazon or eBay or Etsy or whatever you're using online to sell. Some of you may not be thinking, shouldn't you be promoting Father's Day items? Right? That's what you do, ladies and gentlemen. You take advantage. July 4th is coming up. So therefore, you're going to have a July 4th specials. These are the type of things that you should be thinking about. All right. And look who else is in the house. Andreen Miller is here. Welcome to the SSN Nation Wednesday night live stream where it's members only that can be in the chat room. And she has the icon as well. She says her tagline, good evening, Eric and SSN family. But whenever Andreen Miller's in the house, she reminds me of the No Guru Zone. This is the SSN Academy, SSN University, and the No Guru Zone. That's why down below in the description, there are links. SSN Lifestyle has a link down below. Earn Free Bitcoin has a link down below. You want to get free stocks from Robinhood and Webull? That link's down below. You want to get free $10 a Coinbase since it's dropped so much? Now's a good time to get some free Bitcoin. The link is down below. How simple is this, ladies and gentlemen? All right. Think about it. Use those links. And we're talking about business that was number 3 or number 4. Anyhow, that was number 4. But let's talk about other businesses. Number 5 and 6 down below in the description. Podcasts. You want to start a podcast? You're sitting there going, I don't know what to do. Well, how about using some software on your phone, software on your laptop, on your computer? Doesn't matter. There's software out here that you can do like InShot or whatever. You can create audio as well for free because your phone will do audio for free. And you can upload it to the podcast Buzzsprout. That's down below. If you just have 90 days, they'll store your podcast. But that's the free version. But if you pay like $12 or $20 or whatever, then they keep your podcast rolling. You can download it forever. But nonetheless, Buzzsprout down below. And if you use Buzzsprout, guess what else? You guys know you're going to be on iTunes. You're going to be on iHeartRadio. You're going to be in TuneIn. You're going to be on a whole bunch of podcasts that they help you get on for free. So you can be on about 10 to 15 other podcast channels included. You want to start a live stream using StreamYard like I'm using right now? Okay, it's great. The link is down below, right? Because just think about it. You do StreamYard, you can do live. In fact, in StreamYard, you might be saying, hey, Eric, I don't even have software. Well, guess what? You can record in StreamYard. You don't have to run it live. You can record. And the free version lets you go to 2 platforms. If you want to go to more than 2 platforms, then you can pay $20, $30 a month. It's a tax write-off because remember, you're in business. And there's another way. So that's number 6, because you never know where the live stream leads. You can put it on Facebook. You can put it on YouTube. You can put it a whole bunch of places. All right. So like tonight, it's on Twitch, Twitter, and YouTube. That's where our live stream is going tonight, right? But only members with the icon can be in the chat room. There we go. All right. So hopefully that helps. We're up to 6, ladies and gentlemen. All right. So just keep in mind, money time is here. And like I said, let's go. And by the way, if you're going to start a business, I always have to say this every live stream. Come on. Everything is shaky out here. You never know what's going to happen these days, ladies and gentlemen. Everybody wants free money. You don't know if somebody's going to try to come after you for this, that, and the other. You don't know if they're coming after you just because they don't like you, the way you look, the way you talk. You never know. So that's why you don't use your home address. If you're going to do a home-based business, you don't use your home address when you're getting an LLC. When you're doing any business, you want to have a different business address. And some of you may be saying, Eric, I don't have a business address because I don't have an office somewhere. That's who I'm talking to. Opus Virtual Office is a virtual office. They give you a free business phone number. You're going to be on the 411. You're going to have a business fax number, and you're going to have somebody that actually answers the phone in your business name. They will transfer that phone call to you or the number you designate to transfer it to. So you don't even have to worry about the front end. The mail goes to that virtual office for you. That's just for starters. And they report to the credit bureau, the business credit bureau for you. All right. That's just for starters. Opus Virtual Office link is down below in the description area. All right. Some of you are watching on your desktop and you might see emerging millionaire gear on the wheel of Teespring underneath the video. We have gear. You can go to the stopstrugglingnow.com website, or some of you can see the merch shelf on YouTube, and you can scroll through there and you'll see different colors and different things that you can buy, different merch. All right, let's go. Now, I lost my track, but let's see here. I'll get back to it. Here we go. He told me 25. I put in the quick, easy funds. What's up, everybody? And Dream Miller's in the house. The countertop unit is just under 4K, so no financing available, just a vending unit. Okay, cool. 24 to 60 months. Okay, that's a long time. Not sure how much the price will be if to finance it for 60 months like a car, maybe 400 a month. That's what I was already calculating in my head. You're right. It's going to be like 400 a month because the interest rate's going to be who knows what. But that's going to be pretty cool. Evening at Andy O. Andrew Miller. That's Wilson Koo again. Got the notification. That's good to hear. That is number 6. Glad to hear it. Diesel Mike is in the house. Welcome to the SSN Nation Wednesday night live stream, where it's members only with the icon that can be in the chat room like Diesel Mike. So thank you so much for being here. He has his tagline ready, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening, Eric and SSN family. Good evening to you. Like I said, thank you once again, Diesel Mike, and everybody with the icon. I appreciate your support, meaning you have joined to be a member of the channel. I greatly appreciate that. All right. Diesel Mike, interestingly enough, Father's Day and Juneteenth fall on the same day this year. That's very, very interesting. Thank you for bringing that up, Diesel Mike. Wilson Koo says evening. Diesel M showing some more love in the house. Okay. We're going to keep going. Hell yes, we are, ladies and gentlemen. because we have a lot more to discuss tonight. Because if you want millionaire status, you know what else though? Let's just get things in perspective. One thing straight. Even though I'm announcing this as number 7 for millionaire status, it's actually number 1. You have to do research. You have to. You can't just be in a bubble. You can't sit there and think, oh, okay, just because the Feds increase interest rates, I understand real estate's going to go down. Okay, you understand that. That's easy. But now you're the one that has to go out in the street and sit there and say, okay, what real estate? What am I going to do out here? What am I trying to do? You're going to have to figure all of that out and have a plan, because it's going to come fast and quick. So just like this, what's going to happen is, just so you know, things could drop all of a sudden. The home that you're dreaming of, it's 500 G's right now, and the next day, not next day, but 6-8 months could be, all of a sudden you're paying attention. You see it. You see it's gone down to 480. All of a sudden in that neighborhood, all of a sudden now 450, all of a sudden 400. You have to have an idea in your head what you feel good about is the right price, because you don't want to step in when it's 400 and then find out later that it went all the way down to 280, right? You don't want that. So you're going to have to be patient. You're going to have to know when is when. Now, of course, since you're here with the SSN Nation, we will know when is when, or pretty close. Nobody really knows what the bottom is, but you can generally get an idea, because I've already told you, in a real estate crisis, home prices typically go anywhere from 40 to 60% down. So again, 500 means 300, right? That would be like 40%. 50% means 250. 60% means the home now costs 200,000. So now you actually have an idea of a range. So now if it gets to, now you go, okay, I'm going to wait till it gets 300 then. While other people are sitting here going, man, the prices went down $100,000. You should be getting in. You're going, oh, I'm going to wait for a little minute. Why are you going to sit there and say, I'm going to wait? Because you're paying attention to other metrics. You're sitting there saying, let me go check the foreclosure rate. Let me see what's happening in the foreclosure market. How many homes are for sale? How many homes are actually even on the market in this area that I'm looking at? And it matches up with the same size, the same number of rooms, the same type of acreage. Let me make sure, because if there's still a whole bunch of those things for sale, then I'm sitting back and relaxing. I'm like, okay, there's no reason to jump in right here. They got 50 homes in this zip code for sale. Same type of home that I'm looking at. I'll chill out. So again, these are the type of things, ladies and gentlemen, that you have to look at. And that's what we're going to do. So we went up to number 6, right? Because, of course, this is millionaire status, ladies and gentlemen. How do you get there? Money time is here. Let's go. And the money time is courtesy of Jerome Powell and the top 10 percenters. When they mess up, you only get windows when you're not in the top 10% club. You only have windows of opportunity. Otherwise, once we get back to normal, they control most of the assets. So when the price goes up, you, as the ordinary citizen, end up having to pay a higher price. That's the problem. Just like right now, there's a lot of people over the last year or two that spent an extra 20%, 40% for a home. They're not going to feel very well when that home drops 40% or below what their mortgage loan is or below what they purchased it for. They're not going to like that at all. What do you think is going to happen? Same thing that happens all the time. People are going to bail. They're going to say, well, I don't care. I'm not going to buy it. I'm not going to pay a house that's worth $250 and my mortgage is $450. And then you call the bank up and be like, hey, guys, so this is only valued at $250 now, right? The bank's like, yeah, you got a contract. We got you. We understand what you're saying, but we're not reducing the mortgage for you. You signed on the dotted line. Nobody forced you. All right. So think about that, ladies and gentlemen. So don't be too quick. Virtual office, biz address, important, build profile, increase credit lines up to 150K. That's it. Exactly right. That's exactly right. Evening, Wilson Koo, Diesel Mike, showing some love. Do we have a website for nails? Fingernails to go.com. It's in the chat room for everybody that can access the chat room. Otherwise, everybody on replay will be able to get it. But fingernails to go with the to go at the end. All right. So there you go. So you can see it on the screen in case you can't see it in the chat room. But that's where Fingernails to Go website is. And they don't have the financing mentioned on their website, unfortunately. All right. We're 1 hour in, ladies and gentlemen, from the late night, the extended version, because I was late this evening. So I want to let everybody know, thank you so much for hanging around, being here, because I appreciate that. And now I'm going to do a little promo. You guys know we got to do SSN lifestyle promos. Let's see. We're going to do one. I'm trying to figure out which one I'm going to pick. I think we'll do this one.
Come on, come on.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, just enough. Have to get some of that refreshments. But nonetheless, this is what we're talking about here. Yes, sir. I got a Father's Day promotion going right now, but my product isn't really for fathers, so it's not too effective. Can't win them all. Hey, Andy Ortiz, exactly right, man. Can't win them all, but at least you're out here trying. That's the difference. Right. No mention on the website. Insider info only on SSN. That's right, for Fingernails to Go. You got that right. Exactly right. Thank you so much, Vanessa Comagate. That's why you have to be here, ladies and gentlemen, because this is something. In fact, you know what's kind of interesting? I haven't heard anybody else really talk about Fingernails to Go, even though we've been talking about it for like 6, 7, 8, 9 months since Vanessa Comagate potentially gave out the #1 investment opportunity of 2022, because the jury's still out, because clearly crypto has dropped off a cliff. So we can't count crypto in anything. Now, I don't think there's any crypto that has maintained its, well, there's none that's maintained its value over the last 7 months. Stock market also down this year on all indexes. So again, now we're talking business, traditional. This could be the #1 business opportunity of 2022, ladies and gentlemen. All right. So we're going to find out, because SSN Lifestyle members, you're going to be able to find out. Stop Struggling Now members, unfortunately, I'm sorry. It's only going to run on the SSN Lifestyle platform. You got to be a member there. Now, that's a whole different ball game, ladies and gentlemen, but the link is down below so you can go check it out. All right. They said they will be advertising shortly once the units are shipped. Of course they will. And again, this is going to be very, very interesting when this comes out, because it's a paradigm shift, in my opinion. This is almost, it's akin to almost a Redbox scenario. So you have all these nail salons on every freaking corner. I mean, they're going out of style. You even have this ecosystem where they have people coming to your home now because the nail salons are so full. But now imagine that you have people coming, or you going to somebody's house and you're done in 10 to 15 minutes. That is impressive. Or imagine that you set up a location. Look, I think there's so many opportunities for this Fingernails to Go. I really do, because I look at things like spa day, right? That's what I look at, things like spa day. So you go down to a spa, you tell them, hey, let's have a spa day. I don't know if this would work, but to me it would work. And you have a special And then you say, hey, come and get your nails done in 5 minutes. I mean, like, while they're sitting there doing whatever little pampering they're doing, and they're scrolling through going, I'd like to have this on my nail. I'd like to have that. And then at the end, after they got all pampered up, they just put their hands down and it's like, okay, let me get this. Or the nails come out because they did it before they actually had their appointment and they already have the acrylics waiting. They pop out. I just see all kind of opportunities for this. All right. Fingernails to go on fire. Yes, I agree. As an investor, must be able to pivot to business from stocks or real estate or crypto. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. Millionaire status. That's what it means. You can't just be one trick ponies. You have to figure out that, again, equities and businesses. That's what will sustain you for long term. Everything else, equities, in case you don't know, is stocks, and business and real estate. Those are two things where you have passive income coming in or revenues coming in, and the revenues coming in are going to be based on today's value. So if prices go up, just what you saw over the last 2 years, when prices go up and inflation went up, they were able to raise their rents. So you're staying ahead of inflation. And so rents will not come down unless something happens. That's the only way they're coming down, is if people aren't going to be renting. But I have bad news for you. When people lose homes, that means there are going to be more people into the rental pool, which means there's going to be a demand. So rental prices probably won't come down while home prices do. So that's the dichotomy that's going to happen between the two. So you have to understand what's happening. Curtis Davis, yes, every shopping mall has a nail place. Exactly. Do you think there's regulation or health and safety inspection taxes to pay? Always. It's going down all the time. Curtis Davis, facts. I want the Grove. Vanessa Gate, if she's in LA. And in case you guys don't know, the Grove, that's a place, well, let's just call it in an area. I don't even know where the Grove is. I've been there. I always thought it's kind of like Hollywood, I guess. That's the way I always looked at it. But anyhow, it's in the area where you have tourists. It's in the area where people from LA go shopping because it's open air. It's got food there too, a little farmer's market type thing. And they used to have that show. I can't remember the name of the show. Was it Extra? It's had that guy Mario from Ring by the Bell. I can't remember his last name. But anyhow, he was one of the hosts along with the female. So I can't remember. But they used to host their show at the Grove in LA. And that's a little hot spot. So if she's talking about the Grove, that would be one hell of a location, in my opinion. Wilson Koo, evening at Curtis D. West Los Angeles, where all the celebs play and shop. Exactly, Vanessa Gate. I know where it is. I just couldn't. Yeah, I call it. Yeah, it's West LA. So I always called it like Hollywood, as far as I'm concerned. But she's exactly right, where the celebs play and shop. And when you go to the Grove, it doesn't even look like, it just looks like a shopping area that's kind of cool. But you wouldn't think that you're going to run into some of those celebrities everybody's looking for. That's where they're hiding out, ladies and gentlemen. They're not on Sunset, Hollywood. They're not there. They're at the Grove. All right. Or you can go to Bel Air. They'll be at Rodeo Drive. You'll find some there too if you're actually trying to find celebrities. All right. But the Grove is one. Rodeo Drive, you'll find some there. But those are, and on Sunset, if you go to restaurants on Sunset, you'll see some there too, hiding out. Not, I don't mean really hiding out. It's just that you don't notice because there's lots of people around and they're just sitting off on a table and you're not really paying attention. Because a lot of people don't look like they look in the movie because they're made up. They have all their blemishes and everything. And then the next thing you know, you see them in real life and it's kind of like they look like. So, that's how it goes. Evening at Leah D. All right. Yep, Grove near Barnes and Nobles. You can charge 2x. See, ladies and gentlemen, millionaire number 7. Because actually we went 7. So this is number 8. She just mentioned something right here. See, again, remember when I was talking about real estate where you want to hone in on the high-end property places that you want to live and then go 50%, can I afford that? because that's what you'll be waiting for when it hits that 50% number. And then you're like, yeah, I'll get that now. I get my dream place. The same thing is what she's referring to is you can charge 2 times more. The reason why you can charge 2 times more is because in that area where this rich, famous celebrity hang out, they don't mind spending to double because it's convenience and it's time. So here's the thing. You're going to be in that area. You could easily say, look, they go to places that cost them $200, $250 every time they go to the salon because they're not going to a normal salon, right? Where there's people, because they're celebrities, rich, famous, whatever. They're sitting there trying to figure out how can I avoid that? So now you can come in. Yeah, we're talking $25, $30. But in a celebrity environment, you could be like $90, $100. They're going to pay it because 2 things. You say, hey, I'm going to have your nails done in 3 minutes. What I mean is the printout. And actually, I'm using 3 minutes as it's actually shorter than that. But I can have 20 nails done for you in less than 3 minutes. You can come pick them up. And then you can have your girl come to your house and hook you up for the rest. But I'm going to charge not the $25 when we make our profit back in about 6 to 8 months. I'm going to be charging $90, $100 because they're like, that's convenience. That's time. I get to be incognito. I'm in, out, done, gone. That has a value, ladies and gentlemen. And when you're in a level where people pay more, think about it. When you go to Gucci, Louis Vuitton, those type of places, there's not that many people in there, and you generally have high service, meaning they want to get to someplace quick and fast. They've already called. All right, giving out secrets. They've already been called. Hey, we have the new collection in. We're holding it for you. Okay, when are you going to be here? And in fact, we close at 6, but make sure you come at 7. All right, come on. That's what we're talking about here. And that's a high-end scenarios. They don't want to really be seen. They want to be in and out. They don't want to have time. They don't want to sit around like everybody else and come in and shop around, look around. They want to have that specialty item. So that's why I love this. That she mentioned you can charge 2x. She's exactly right. Especially where the celebrities play, you can charge 2x. That's what the Hollywood is based on. That's what Bel Air is based on. That's what Rodeo Drive's based on. Sunset Boulevard, that's what it's all based on, is because people from all over the world know about Hollywood in that area, and they're all coming there, so they get to charge more. It's beautiful, ladies and gentlemen. That's how the ecosystem works. Next to Beverly Hills, it's outdoor shopping. My friend was at the Cheesecake Factory with Kardashians. Yep, exactly. It's a little hidden spot. Open air. Yeah, I like the Grove because I was there one day and they had the farmers market. They were bringing in some fresh fruit and stuff. That was cool. But they have like these little restaurants in there, little shops. It's cool. I like it. Some stars are not 6'5". Exactly. But 6. And yes, makeup. But I love my Will Smith and Kevin Hart in Life, Smoke, and Mirrors, but all entertaining. Exactly. Curtis Davis. Hey, shh. Come on. Yeah, man, be quiet about this. You're funny, man. Yeah, that's the funny thing. You're right about that, man. You got guys out here that it looks like on screen because the way they set up all the background and the way everything looks, these guys, it looks like they're like, they're 6 feet, 6'3", 6'4", 6'5", and they're really 5'6", 5'7", 5'8". It's funny as hell. Not everybody, but there's a lot of people who the size that you expect them to be isn't what you see in person. And that's another reason why they can fly under the radar sometimes, because, stars are bigger than life, or people that are well known. And then when you walk past them, they're looking at you, or you're looking at them and you're like, that looks like, and you're like, that's their whole thing. They're like, oh yeah, this is a good day for me. I look like, and you just keep walking. That's a good thing. Good evening, Cool Man from Leah Dennis, showing nothing but love. Smoke and Mirrors, facts. Don't ask me how I know. Vanessa Comagate, LA girl. We know how you know. You know how it is. Yeah, it's funny as hell. And you got to keep in mind the business of acting is so funny. It'll crack you up because you'll see somebody in a movie, and because of what their character is, the character is supposed to be like, let's say, um, look slim. So then the guy loses weight, right? And then they'll play in another movie where the guy has to be fit. So then they start working out, doing whatever, might even do some implants or whatever, right? Then they're walking on the street. You don't even recognize them because they got some different type of hair on and they're normal size. So then, and glasses. So then you walk right by them. You wouldn't even know. And then you find out the dude's like 5'4". I mean, it's like, oh, don't even. I wasn't even going to say nothing because I said Top Gun earlier. I was trying to avoid what you're going to see. This is what I'm talking about. See, this is how somebody knows about the business of movies. Is because she just said one person right now. The reason why Tom Cruise has lookalikes and he generally can get away with walking around in public that people don't know it's him is because he ain't 6 feet tall. He ain't 5'8" neither. You know what I'm saying? He's like 5'4" or 5'5". He's like a little dude. You wouldn't even know it's him. That's how crazy it is. But from the movies and all the action he does, you could never tell because the way they stack people next to him, they always set people back off. Like if you look at Mission Impossible, the guy that's from France, I can't remember his name. He actually is 6 feet, but they generally don't have him and Cruise standing next to each other on a large pan. So what they'll do is they'll put a close up on them. So they'll look face to face or pretty close. But then when they show them off, they're always backed off from each other. So you can't really tell there's like a freaking 8-inch difference or a 6-inch difference. So it's funny, smoke and mirrors. But yeah, I wasn't going there, Vanessa Comagate. But since you mentioned Tom Cruise, yeah, he's pretty short. That's funny. Okay, only because I mentioned Top Gun, I had to bust some bubbles probably out there, but that's the real deal. So it's kind of funny. But anyhow, she knows. She's apparently seen him in person. That's funny. That's funny. That's funny. When I worked at Warner Brothers, I worked on Space Jam and they had to cut with Michael Jordan. Yeah, that's nice. Yeah. Oh man, that's funny that you mentioned Tom Cruise. That's hilarious. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're having a little fun right now, but please smash the like button. If you like what we're talking about, please subscribe to the channel, click the all notification bell. We went to number 8 because you want that millionaire status, right? Everybody does. And in fact, what's millionaire status really going to be worth in the coming years when you really think about it? Look how far we've come. Where homes of 500,000, 600,000, 700,000 is the norm across America in more states than it ever has been. And then what's going to happen after the next bubble blows up? Everything's going to be even more expensive. A home might cost you, a regular home could cost you, a home that, let's say 350 could cost somebody $600,000-$700,000 could be a regular home. So therefore, millionaire status won't cut it. That won't be good enough, right? So just keep all that in mind, ladies and gentlemen, and don't forget to smash that like button. All right. Oh, Vanessa Comagate always gonna mess around because she's getting on the lot, ladies and gentlemen. She's in the lot. She's on the lot. She's in Warner Brothers Studios, and she can't even take damn pictures. Man. Oh, man. Curtis Davis, the Rooftop Party has many body double stars. You got that right. The celeb beauty in the movie has people who live in Hollywood, broke, but get the part, the muscle build, the fit body. Exactly. Movies is all smoke and mirrors, ladies and gentlemen. You have to understand this. All right. Seriously. There's body doubles that people don't realize as well. And it's not only bodies, it could be your hands. It could be simple things like your hands. All right. So anytime I should get it, anytime they start doing these cuts away, right? And then they just isolate on something, that's because it might be a deficiency with the actor's physique, physical nature that they're not going to show, but you won't know that. So, oh, she's like, I got pics. she broke out the camera. I worked there in 99 6 through 2001. Amazing time. Oh, okay. She got pics back when it was in a thing. Okay, I was gonna say back then you carried in your camera and people had the new in 96-ish. That's when cameras came out with the phones came out with the cameras. Some I remember I had to attach to my AT&T, and then it only had like what 2 megabytes memory or something, so you couldn't take that many. It was crazy, but I know what you mean. That's funny. That is funny as hell. But back to the bodies, right? So anyhow, think about it, ladies and gentlemen. That just gets to show you what another aspect of millionaire status is. You may not have 100% of what you need to make it happen, but you have to start somewhere, and then you can improvise. You may not be good in one area, so therefore you have to learn or find somebody that is good in that area. So therefore you can move forward. Don't take no for an answer, because millionaires don't do that, ladies and gentlemen. They fail 17 times on average. 17 times on average, millionaires fail before they become a millionaire. Think about it. Are you going to give up? I hope not. All right. So we're talking about a little of the that's funny. Hollywood. Speaking of that, I think I told you guys before I was at Santa Fe Studios, and they made at the time I was there, this is a while back, they were making the 100 Ways to Die in the Wild West, something like that. I think that's it. And they had the stagecoach. It was in the middle of the room, and I was with my phone. The dude started freaking out because the movie wasn't coming out for like another year. They started freaking out. They were like, "Oh, no, yo!" But they didn't make me dump it. So I actually have those pictures in the studio of their that stagecoach they were using. I was there the day that Justin Bieber was shooting whatever his part was. So it was funny as hell, but they get freaked out now about taking pics. Like I said, you guys know I was at Mission Beach Studios and I was trying to get the last, there was a TV show called The Last Boat. And the other show was called, it was supposedly in the Hamptons. And it was a girl and she was trying to get revenge. I can't remember the name of that TV show. It was being shot there too. And at that place, I pulled out the phone, but they freaked out. They were like, "Oh, hell no." Prince was in 6'7". They're just killing me. Prince was in 6'7", but people party and have music sessions in West Hollywood. I miss LA insider life. Hey, you guys have no idea how funny when he said 6'7". Yeah, he's nowhere near 6 feet, let alone 6'7". Don't go there with me, my purple man, Chili D. Hey, he shot that with Warner Brothers. Yeah, so yeah, you can't go there, Chili D, because he shot that with Warner Brothers. Remember, he's on Warner Brothers Records in the 80s before he came out with the symbol. So yeah, that Purple Rain was probably shot at the Warner Brothers studio in LA. Yeah, in fact, him and Cruz, I think he's smaller than Cruz by a little inch or two. Oh, that's funny. The producers gets the last call on whether the character looks right or sounds right. The actors told me don't take it personal. Exactly. They don't take it personal. Everybody has shortcomings. I'm gonna. Yeah, I shouldn't. I guess I will say something about it. It's kind of funny. There's an actress, Vanessa. I think her name is Russo. Vanessa Russo. think that's her name. The woman's beautiful, and most of her pictures, they won't show her walking. They'll use other people. They won't show her walking usually because she's like knock-kneed. So the lower part looks weird when she's walking. So it's kind of funny. So whenever I see her in movies, I'm like, okay, let's see if they actually give her a walking scene from across the way where they actually show fate coming at you. Because then you'll see her knees are like weird. Vanessa, music, guitar, one of my many loves. Curtis Davis with the music love. I bet you have good stories at Eric. Oh, yeah, I got some stories. I got stories. I got also at Santa Fe. I was there one day, and the guy was shooting Neil, what's his name? DeGrassi. Yeah, I think he was doing one of his shows. He was there. And when you go in the studio, they're just like, hey, everybody, make sure your phone's off. I'm like rolling through. They're shooting a freaking scene with the CGI and everything all set up. I was just like, what the hell? My phone goes off. Unbelievable. It was funny as hell. Yeah. Hollywood is fun. I had friend with press passes to Soul Food release party. Fox Studios, my girlfriend and I had good time 2014. Exactly, Curtis Davis. It's always a good time when celebrities are in the house. And you're going to one of those rap parties, or doesn't matter what parties, with the guys in Hollywood. Those guys, they crack me up. Wilson Koo, the symbol, would have been the elf in Eric Burton's Christmas movie or Wizard of Oz. Yep, exactly. Oh, that's funny right there. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's get back into it. All right, so that reminds me, we're 1 hour, 26 minutes in. I'll show a little something. Speaking of stars and stuff like that, let me show one of those. Long time ago, but here we roll. Let me see which one this is going to be. I don't know which one this is, but we'll roll with this one. How about this one?
No, he's got a good
Got
shot.
a lot of competition.
The guy can play, but we all showed up to dethrone him this year. But I brought him something, courtesy of Poker 101A. This is his jersey, and then we're going to auction one off.
Oh,
So
sweet.
he's got another one.
Great.
All right?
Very
We got
nice.
some heavyweights here.
As long as you
Some
can hold your own.
Lewis, David Devilfish Juliet. I'm here. Phil Ivey might even be here. I mean, we have heavyweights here tonight. So us little guys, we're going to have to do something serious.
Here he is, the man of the hour, Don Cheadle. Last year's tournament winner arriving to defend his title.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, since we're talking about a little Hollywood activity, there's Hollywood activity there. So anyhow, we're having a little fun tonight, and we went up to number 8 from Millionaire status. Money time is here. Let's go. And that's why you have to take this a little serious, ladies and gentlemen. You don't have to panic, but you do have to make sure that you have revenues coming in, because the economy is going to contract. You are going to have to figure out, make sure you have food, because our supply chains are messed up. Production in food is also messed up due to cost of increase, whether it's agriculture, whether it's water, whether it's anything, that's going to cost more. So it may not be on the shelf. So you're going to have to plan on some sort of foods that can stay stable for a long period of time. Excuse me. Like you might be talking about, like, noodles, canned soup, noodles, something powder, this, powder that, whatever is your taste that can last, a year, 2 years, something like that, maybe a year. But anyhow, get the idea in your head that you may not be able to roll into a store and get your favorite item for a week at a time. Think about that, okay? So, and plus the fact you don't know what the cost is going to be down the road. So again, that's something to consider. Now, I'm going to get into something that I haven't talked about yet. This has nothing to do with the millionaire status because I got to find it. But I was going to play around again. Let me see if I have it. I don't know if I have it. I was going to play around again. You guys know how I like messing around with Jay Powell because they did this interest rate increase of 0.75, a historic. It's never happened since 1994 because it's so historic. Okay, here. Yeah, that's what actually here I'm showing on the screen. All right. Let's just get to it because we still have to talk about the stock market. You need equities. We know that it went up, so don't panic. Some don't cheer either. Or cheer. It will come back. That's the nature of the beast. We just don't know if it's going to be 6 months, 3 months, 8 months, a year. But in my prediction, it'll probably be 8, because 89% of the stock market. So just because the stock market goes up or down doesn't mean it has something to do with you. All right. Just keep that in mind because these guys are doing back deals as we speak. So here we are. This is what I saw today. And I just started smiling when they said Federal Reserve raises interest rates by 0.75%, most since 1994, amid effort to slow inflation. And online, they were talking about that's historic. I'm glad to see Yahoo has changed a little and there's no historic in here. But this is what I actually wanted to get to. Because once again, I went over this last Friday. Went over it on Monday. I'm going over it again because we have new viewers. Here's the situation. You see this here. The Fed funds rate, 19.1% in 1981. Okay? 19%, ladies and gentlemen. All right? This is where home mortgage rates 14, 15, 18%. This is also when Jimmy Carter was in office. All right. 1980, well, 76 to 80. You can see they started increasing the federal funds rate. You guys know what happens when you increase the federal funds rate from 1977, where it was only 4.95, and you start increasing it. What's the economy going to do? So in 1977, when Jimmy Carter comes into office, they start raising federal funds rate. You know what's going to happen, just what's going to happen now. Real estate's going down, stock market's going down, economy's going to contract, inflation's going to rise. So there's no surprise from 1977 to 1980, 1981, when the next guy shows up and he says, tax break, and we're going to reduce the interest rates. So what starts happening after 1980? It starts coming down. Imagine that. Imagine that, ladies and gentlemen. 1986, still going down. Imagine that. I think the economy is going to be doing very, very good, don't you? Okay. So here we go. 1987. All of a sudden, we have inflation rising. We gotta increase the federal fund rate. So we got to start. We increase it, ladies and gentlemen. If you can see the gray line, that means it's a recession. And then we have 1988, and then 1989 rolls around, and George Bush has to take over. This isn't going to be good, ladies and gentlemen, because he took over in 1989 after all this federal funds rate going down and making the economy go good. So you know what's going to happen in 1989. And just because we have that high Fed funds rate, you have this thing that happens. Savings and loans debacle occurs. We have problems left and right, ladies and gentlemen. Banks are closing, getting bailouts. They are taking Okay, I won't even get into it. They're moving out people, calling people's loans. The banking institutions are calling loans. Imagine, ladies and gentlemen, you have a mortgage, $700, $500, $400,000, because there's a problem with inflation and because there's a problem with banks, which could happen right now. They start realizing, hey, reason why we're calling today, we're calling in that $400,000 loan. Do you have it? You need to pay that or we're going to file for foreclosure. How about that, ladies and gentlemen? That's in America. That goes down. That's what we are going to possibly be in again. And that's what happened in the late 80s. But I'm showing you on the screen, every time you increase federal rates, there is more disaster that's going to happen. And then, of course, 89, it's still high. And then there's a little recession that occurs because that's what happens when you raise the federal funds rate. And then, it drops down. They start reducing it, but it's too late because at this point, there's another election. And, we have to have Bill Clinton shows up. And look what happens. The interest rate, it still goes down. And we know what happens when interest rates go down. That's good for the economy. So it's no wonder that in 1992, 94, 95, 96, and it comes back to halfway and it kind of stays level for the next 3 years. No wonder the guy gets 2 terms in. Economy's going great. And then .com comes. All of a sudden, it's going good, but they're like, .com, it's all bogus. It's fake. These companies are out here getting this free money. Silicon Valley, what's that? We got to raise the interest rates because, everything was going good for these six to 7 years. They start raising the interest rate, and we know what's going to happen again. It's 2000, but who cares? We already put in those 8 years. Somebody else has to take over. And so you guys know what's coming next. A recession, .com bubble bust. A recession occurs. You guys understanding? Does this look like it's the same thing, just a different year? Now it's 2000. And then you know what happens. Tax cut, tax rate guys are back. And then they're telling the Federal Reserve, dude, we got a recession here. You got to reduce the federal funds rate. Imagine this, ladies and gentlemen. And now here we go. Here we go. 2000. Look at this, ladies and gentlemen. 2%. 2%. 3%. Everybody gets a loan in 2006, 7, and 8. Everybody gets a loan. You're breathing, you can get a home loan. Well, you guys know how that went. Everybody got a home loan. Prices went up damn near 100% within less than a year and a half, except not everybody qualifies. And now we have a whole bunch of people not paying for a home that they bought, overpriced home that they bought. And the banks at this time, they didn't call for bailouts, ladies and gentlemen. They said, we're going to the federal government. They didn't call you up and say, hey, we're calling your loan. They went to the government and said, hey, we're calling your loan. You need to give us trillions of dollars so we can stay liquid because we over leveraged ourselves. So you guys know what happened at that 2008, 2009, 2010. But here's the thing. Notice this flat line here. 2009 rolls around. Historic first ever black guy shows up. That's what historic means, ladies and gentlemen. And it wasn't 30 years ago that there was another black president, right? Historic event occurs. But in January of 2009, all of a sudden they said, you know what? Keep this federal funds rate at 0.25. For how long can you do it? Because we need some love. So there we have it. 5, 6, 7, 8 years of growth. 6, 7, 8 years of growth because you can borrow at 0% if you're one of the top 10%ers. Banks can loan each other money and not have to pay hardly any interest. Until 2016-17 rolls around, then they start increasing the rates. And so about this time in 17, 18, the guy at the top says, hey, pal, I got to have a chat with you, man. You better reduce those interest rates. That's right. Powell's like, wait, no, you don't understand. We got to increase the interest rates, man. Because if we don't increase the interest rates properly, we're going to have a little problem. I don't care. Reduce the interest rates, because Europe, they already went to negative. So there we have it, ladies and gentlemen. They didn't do the playbook like they're supposed to. They were supposed to keep the interest rate going up. And then they said, no, we're going to hold it right here. And then they're like, we're short. Actually, we're like 200 basis points short. And you want us to stay here? And actually, you want us to make it go back down? Oh my God, ladies and gentlemen, that's disaster. And I want you to notice something over here. Look how much different this is from 1980. You guys already know what I'm saying. Some of you may be new here and may not understand. They changed the CPI index in the 1980s, 78 through 80. So anyhow, so the CPI index is not the same as it is now. But look how far down this is compared to here. In order for us to get up here, this is why the Federal Reserve, because they did this delay tactic for 3 years, it should have went up another 2% during this time. That delay tactic meant this now, what's going to happen, this historic 0.75 they did, wink, wink, that is going to have to even go higher. So if you think you're going out here to get a mortgage right now and you think, okay, I can deal with 6%, then you better deal with 6% right now. Because a year from now or 6 months from now, you might be dealing with 8%, 9%, 10%. They aren't dropping the interest rate anytime soon. So just keep that in mind. What I mean is they're still going to raise it another, whether it's 25 basis points, 50 basis points, it's happening twice this year. A whole nother point's coming. So again, you're going to be at 9%, ladies and gentlemen, if you're going to be out here trying to buy a house. All right. So just keep that in mind. I just want to go through this because, you know, I love what Mr. Financial says, Mr. Cold Hard Facts. So we have to put things in perspective so you know the playbook. I just went over 40 years of the same playbook. Does it look like they have a whole bunch of tools at their disposal? They're just fluctuating. There are no tools. They can't stop inflation. They can damn sure start it, though, because they can print money. They can give loans to their buddies and give them 0.1% interest rates. All right. So we don't have that luxury. So we have to create businesses. We have to do it the old-fashioned way. We got to work for it. We got to earn it. So that's what we have to do here. And we have to do it by any means necessary. Thank God that there's a internet where you're able to use eBay, Amazon, Craigslist, any other means, Etsy's, Spotify, Shopify, where you can actually sell products. You can actually refer people to buy products and receive commission and receive a little extra income coming in. That didn't exist 40 years ago, 30 years ago. All right. You have that luxury now. So we may not have 200 million people in the workforce, but you have 200 million people making money. That's what you have to remember. You have to continue to make extra revenue, ladies and gentlemen. The cost of living is going to cost more. They are not coming to save anybody out here. All right. Just keep it in mind. So you have to start thinking a little bit differently. Think smarter. All right. Don't think that everything's going to be equal. All right. Let's go. News, tell lie, vision, historic. Exactly. Last time Powell spoke on May 4th, it jumped 3%. Then the next 8 days fell 1% per day. So stock market not clear unless you know bond market. He just said something very important. They have to get the bond market. See, ladies and gentlemen, there's always these nuances. There's different things. I just illustrated what happens. You can see it on the graph. It's simple. You can match it up with how the economy goes and there's a recession. So you know there's a recession coming, right? So here's the thing. That's why all the banks, that's why everybody can say there's a recession coming, because you just saw the chart. You don't even have to be but a 5-year-old kid and be like, hey, how come every time this chart goes up, there seems to be a gray line after it? That's a recession. So now a kid would see the line going up and they'd be like, oh, there's the gray line's coming. It's coming sometime soon. It's not rocket science. But here is the other part that may include some rocket science, because you want to be millionaire status. The reason why Mr. Financial mentions the bond market is because that's a way to get foreign and domestic investments into the United States coffers. So bonds go up to 4% for 10 years. People say, hell yeah, I'm going to put money in there because it's backed by the government. I get 4% per year. But people are smarter now, right? But it doesn't matter if people are smarter, because we know inflation is 10 to 15 to 20%. So 4% doesn't do you much good. You're still losing. But the United States government still wins, because people around the world, if you're in Europe, you have damn near 0% interest rates. You leave your money in a bank, you're paying them. And I'm not talking about you're giving them $12 a month or $15 or $2 or $8 a month. No, we're talking about you have $100,000 in the bank. They're saying, thank you very much. We'll take $500 this month. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. That's what I'm talking about. So them people, they're going, what do you mean I can get 3%, 4% on my money? I can get that over the next 10 years, because the last 10 years, all I've been getting is I've had to pay these guys $200 a month, $50 a month to hold my money. That's the reason why you have to have the Fed fund rate increase. The bond rate then increases. You get more money dumped into the economy, investment money. That's how the program works. There's always different levers, ladies and gentlemen. So this is why last year I was always screaming about they're 6 months to a year short, because of what they did previously for the 3 years prior, when they kept going down when they should have went up. So that little mistake that had occurred, that is now why we're in this situation, because it's just delayed. That's all it is. So now other countries are going to start pouring some money into the United States. But now after this 0.75, hey, you know what? Let's go see something here. I wonder what bond market happened today. Speaking of that, Mr. Financial. See this out right here, ladies and gentlemen, SSN Academy, SSN University. Like I said, it's very interesting how this comes up. Here we go. I'm looking for CNBC. Funny how it goes up and how people overlook certain things. All right, look here. So here's U.S. Treasuries, markets, bonds. Here's United States government. Here's German, right? So here's what we're talking about here. See this 1 year, 2 year, 3.4%. See over here, Germany, 1%, 2% bonds. All right. See, so when you say to somebody, I can give you a 2 year at 3.2, a 3 year at 3.4, or how about that 20 year at 3.6? These guys, remember, we're talking about hundreds of millions of dollars. So 1 percentage point is major. 2 percentage points is awesome, right? If I can get 2 points on $100 million every year, we're loving life. This is the reason why the United States, they've been late, because this should have already been at 5. The rest of the world would have been knocking down the door to invest in America. But it's okay, because it's going to be around 4 within the next month or two, if not now. So I'm surprised these aren't a little higher. They went down today, but it's okay. These are going to creep up. Trust me. This should be in 4 by July, I would imagine. And that's when the good times start rolling back into America, where they get to refill their coffers. So just keep in mind, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Financial brought up a very, very good point. And that's how it's going to work. Now, let's get back to the screen. So thank you for listening to my little explanation, but hopefully you understand this isn't rocket science on how the economy fluctuate based on them increasing or decreasing interest rates. So now you know for the rest of your life what to expect. And now you'll know, okay, we see what's happening. We understand what's happening, but are you going to be confident enough from the historical record? You're going to go, because anything can be different. That's the thing, right? When it comes to money and economy, it can be different. But traditionally, when governments put themselves in a position, which is a government, this isn't a business, this isn't an individual person, a government. Governments don't move fast. The economy doesn't move fast. What they are doing now is going to affect the economy 1 to 2 years later. But unfortunately from them, they have to do more. So that's going to speed up the timeline. So in other words, whatever happens in 3 months from now, they're going to increase the interest rate again. That pulls the lever for the next event to occur. That just means interest rates are going to go up more, which means home prices are going to go down more. And then when home prices go down, developers go out of business. Banks and lending institutions all of a sudden dries up. They start going out of business. All of a sudden, it's a whole different ecosystem, and people don't want to take chances. So then it speeds up. Instead of it, the downfall starts 1 to 2 years out. All of a sudden, it's 6 months to 1 year out. And then when they do the next lever, then all of a sudden you're here. 3 months out, problems. But we already know what the playbook's going to be, right? As soon as you hit rock bottom, then that's when they pull out the rug and say, let's start reducing those interest rates, ladies and gentlemen. We got the money from the foreign investment. You got that, right? Chase, B of A, Wells Fargo, UBS. You guys got all your money, right, in your banks from all that foreign investment, right? And you're going to help out our hedge fund buddies over here, right? You're going to give them those loans when we bring these interest rates down, right? That's right. That's how we play the game. And that's why you as the individual have to understand their game, which now means you can play the game as well, because you can go along for the ride. Just like when they mess up, you take advantage. When they make things better, you take advantage. You don't have to be in the hedge fund club. Just think about it. All right. A little motivation, I hope. The 1% interest rates has been the top 10% fantasy for 10 years. Exactly. Now OCs are paying, shaking me, the same. The price of the value dollar, the cost of goods, not more, but your dollar purchase power is 200. Yeah, 200 is like $75. Exactly. That's exactly right. What used to be $75 is now $200. Exactly. Another 1% in interest means you may or may be eligible to buy the next car or home. There you go. Car prices coming down. You ain't out here getting a car loan for 10%, ladies and gentlemen. Come on now. And that car costing them 50, 60, 70 G's, 10% loan. You are not going to be finding a lot of people spending $700, $800, $900 a month. $1,000 a month, and it ain't a Lambo. All right, you're not gonna have that many people doing that. So again, cars and the lack of car sales, that causes a problem in American ecosystem, because now you're manufacturing where it employs a couple 100,000 people. That's a problem. When they have to lay off 10,000, 5,000, 3,000 people, that money is no longer coming in. And those are union money normally. $40 an hour, $50 an hour, $60 an hour, and you're laying those people off, your economy's bad. Once again, another lever. Thank you for bringing it up, Curtis Davis, about the cars, because now if car prices go down, then layoffs, car manufacturers now have a problem because remember, they're borrowing to put things on their floor in their dealerships. Remember, all of this ecosystem comes to a head, but you get to take advantage if you play your cards right. Remember, those cars that you thought were impossible to get because they're 70, 80, 90 G's, they might be 50, 45, or they're going to be found on a lot somewhere up for auction. That's all I can say, because these car companies are going to be going out of business. And I know a little bit of something about the car company and the car biz. Because when somebody takes $1 billion out of their pocket off the table, they do things, ladies and gentlemen. You know, they bribe senators. They do all kind of stuff, change laws. All right. I know a little bit of something about the car biz. All right. Curtis Davis. Yes, the internet has been fire. eBay, Amazon, Shopify, and Google information, YouTube, well packaging, course info in 2020 versus 1999 Excite search engine or AOL portal, y'all. Exactly. Huge difference indeed. The GDP for quarter one, 3%, quarter two, 0%. In order for things to stay on track, the GDP must grow 3% per year. To expand money supply, we are negative GDP or fiat in dangerous territory. Ladies and gentlemen, you're getting it tonight. SSN Academy, SSN University, courtesy of Mr. Financial Curtis Davis. Go check out his channel at Chili Davis. But we talk about that here, courtesy of him, because we get to delve into these, financial literacy situations. What he's talking about here is another lever, ladies and gentlemen. This is a metric that they look at. They're sitting here trying to grow the GDP by 3%. Remember, America is $30 trillion in debt. They got to pay some debt. Where are they going to get some profit from? Well, guess what? Your tax money, ladies and gentlemen, is about to go up. That's all I can tell you. That's why they had to do the $600 thing so they can tax more people. I don't know why they just didn't come out and be forthright. I just don't understand why this administration wasn't just forthright and be like, hey, unfortunately, what's happened over the last 12 or 13, 14, 20 years, we have no choice but to go to $600, and every transaction we're going to have to count, because every last dime is going to matter, because we're at $34 trillion in realization here in a deficit. And if we don't grow 3, 4, 5% per year, we can't pay back some of our benefactors, some people we owe. We can't pay them. We might default. You can't have world currency defaulting, can you? Come on. So that's what we're talking about here, ladies and gentlemen. When he's got this playbook exactly right, that's why you pay attention. How much is the GDP growing? We're going to find ourselves probably, I can't even imagine it's going to be a positive. I would think if it grew 1%, that would be a miracle with all the havoc that's about to occur. All right. On track, in dangerous territory. He's got that right. Damn, Eric, there's a nightmare repeat. Most people love the coaster up, but hate the free fall. Constructor, owners, bankrupt, a well-orchestrated game. Exactly. It's the same wash, rinse, and repeat, but that wash, rinse, and repeat causes wealth inequality, ladies and gentlemen. Who's the ones that can withstand a downturn in the economy? People at the bottom, you can't withstand downturn of economy. Only the people at the top who have the assets. And they're the ones that when everything crashes, they have the assets where they can actually still go and borrow against their assets if they had to, or they have the cash and they can just buy stuff up at pennies on the dollar. So when we start talking about properties and businesses devalued, all of a sudden these guys are sitting there going, hey, you guys lost money over the last year or two. And they're like, yeah, but we made $50 million for the last 10 years. And then the next thing you know, they're like, yeah, but you're not making $50 million a year anymore. The last 2 years, you had revenues of $50 million, but your profit was only $10 million. So we get to buy your company. If you're going to sell your company, we're only going to pay like 100 million. Yeah, but last 3 years ago, you guys were going to buy it for $500 million. Well, you've lost money the last couple of years. And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. And then, of course, when the economy gets back right, that same company gets back to them making their $50 million per year. They bought it at cheap prices. And now they get the profit of 20 million a year and they ride off to the sunset. And you don't think the inequality gap's going to get wider? It's going to get wider after this. But guess what? We're a little bit more financially literate now, right? So you guys can join in the party. You can pick up some of these pieces. Maybe not the $50 million property, but at least you can get the 600, the 800, the 1 million, the 2 million, the 3 million, the 5. Which the $5 million property now is going to be 1 million, potentially 1.5. So again, you're going to have opportunities. So think about it, your millionaire status. All right. Things are not going to be good in a hurry. Exactly, Wilson Koo. And Wilson Koo, again, quick, easy funding. He's in the lending business. He gets to find out kind of first before even the announcement by the banks. Because he gets across his desk or email, they send him the crazy lending options that you have. And you can tell by the crazy, because what'll happen is he'll get something that's right now, probably most of the things say 740 and up. You get this interest rate. Let's call it 5.5 now. All right. Then it says 720 to 7, well, we'll call it 760, but 720 to 740. Now it's going to be 6.5. And then it goes 680 to 720. Now it's going to be 7.8. He already knows soon. He knows probably right now, after what has transpired today, the 0.75, he already probably has the new rates that everybody's going to find out about in the next 24 to 48 hours. And it ain't going to be pretty. All right. He already knows that. So what I'm saying is there's certain people that already know from the reaction. And if you're a bank or a lender, you already know what's happening before the people. That's an advantage. Just like you already know what's going to happen. So you have an advantage. It works both ways. So think about it. All right. Notice Silicon Valley Tech's got a 50K raise, but 6 months later, the corpse Coinbase Robinhood fired tens of thousands of people. That's right. Everybody not going to afford the next economy car, 60K or 400K home. That's exactly right. LOL, 33 trillion in debt and can't pay interest. Exactly. That's exactly right. We've already crossed the threshold. These guys aren't handling biz. They don't care. Because taxpayers are going to pay this back on your great-grandkids and great-great-grandkids. Lots of facts and info. The crap is hitting the fan. Exactly. And you guys are lucky enough to have Wilson Koo in the house. You're also lucky enough. Wilson Koo, the reason why he has this ecosystem where he has investors that are willing to come in and buy something is because these guys are sitting here waiting just like you are. They're sitting. You guys are in the driver's seat. He's got investors knowing full well what's going to happen in the next month to the next year. People are going to be bailing, looking for extra revenue, looking for whatever. He's going to have people that are going to pounce on somebody that has like 10 acres sitting there idle. They now are losing money and they sit there and go, hey, can I get your 10 acres? Whatever the lease agreement will be, they'll be able to pick up their deals will be a lot less than what they would have been 6 months ago. People will be more amenable to a person when they're doing bad, right? That's when you pounce, ladies and gentlemen. It's an ecosystem, and that's why the wealth gap gets larger. But we're not going to let them get away with pouncing on everything, right? That's your job. Go out here and be prepared, ladies and gentlemen, and don't be afraid. And the reason why you're not going to be afraid is because America wants to save itself. And I'm not talking about American citizens. I'm talking about the government. Don't think for a minute that these guys are dumb. They are smart. They act dumb, but they're very smart at what they do. Don't think for a minute If there was a situation that had occurred where it's like 2008, 2009 again, they already ran the playbook. If banks need bailout, they're going to give it to them. They're going to print more money. You have the world currency. If you didn't have world currency, then you would be in a world of hurt and they wouldn't be doing these stupid, foolish moves. But the fact of the matter is, they aren't dumb. They know what they're doing because they have world currency. So therefore, they can do high risk maneuvers, which is what they're doing at our expense. And that's why you have to punish them. That's right. I'm like Michael Jordan. I take it personal. You have to punish them, ladies and gentlemen, when they mess up and allow assets to drop 40, 50, 60%. You punish them by grabbing them because they're not going to let themselves go by the wayside. You have to keep in mind there's self-preservation for the government and their friends. All right. You got to keep this in mind. We have oligarchs in America. All right. Keep it in mind. They're not going to let these guys go to zero. So that means you're not going to zero. So when you find a great deal, you don't have to ponder. You don't have to sit there and go, man, this thing dropped 70%. I mean, you could find that happen. I don't know if it will, but this property or this price, this asset dropped 70%. I don't know if I should buy it. No, I want to use curse words here. MF, buy the damn thing. Okay? I'm going to be a little more adamant about this. You guys got to be on this. You can't be scared out here like the rest of the world. They're scared. They're safe because you're always safe. I got my 401k. I got my job. I got my insurances. All's good. But when things hit the fan, not capable of adapting and changing. But just keep in mind what you really want to do. This is going to be imperative because this could be an epic situation. Great Depression type stuff could be happening right now. Millionaire status could be solidified. It may not be millionaire status solidified year one, but you hold on to that asset and let it ride, because when it comes back up, as many assets classes as you can get and many assets that you have in your portfolio, and I'm not just talking about stocks and crypto or real estate. We're talking about across the board, whatever an asset, that could be that could be art. All right. That could be collectibles. That could be anything. That's an asset right now. You're going to have to pounce and grab it, and you're not going to have to look back. You're just going to sit there and go, hey, history tells me it might take 3 years. It might take 4 years, but at least I got this thing at 60, 70% off. If it goes down another 10%, so be it. But if the asset is generating revenue, it always has a value. A collectible, it's only because it's over time. It increases in value over time. Art on a wall increases value over time. So even if the economy goes down, yes, that art piece will go down during a recession. But once you come out on the other side, because what are they going to do? They're going to reduce the interest rates. People are going to be able to borrow. Then you're going to have home prices go up, car prices go up. Everything's going to go back up to its overpriced value. And you just bought something at 70% off, 60% off, but now it went price-wise 150% higher. So you lost 60. So let me give you guys an example. We have $100. I'll try and keep it simple. It went down, the asset went down to $30. But then you bought as much as you could at 30, and then a year, 2, 3 later, you wake up and now you see it's 250. Huge change. Everything you bought for 30s worth 250 now. 10 times your money because you were smart enough to buy it at the sale price of 60, 70% off. That's what happens, ladies and gentlemen. And that's why the rich keep getting richer, because while it's down here at 60, 70%, you're sitting there going, hold on, I'm not going to buy. There's blood in the street. Everything's going to, sugar's going to SHIT. So you're sitting there hands off. Meanwhile, you're allowing these other guys to buy zip codes. You're allowing them to buy up the equities. You're allowing them to buy the art. You're allowing them to buy the crypto. You're allowing them to buy the collectibles. You're allowing them to buy all the asset classes. Gold, silver, precious metals, they probably won't be buying because those things should be rising shortly. All right. If they haven't already, which, by the way, this is going to be very interesting. What happened? I want to find out what happened. Let's go check AdMax. Gold, silver, precious metals. Let's go see what happens here. But here we are, the pool of borrows, UU, exactly. So here we go, Green Day, clearly. That's what we expect, right? A little upside, 1%, 0.75. This is what we expect. But see, this market is also now manipulated because they have ETFs. They didn't have ETFs 20 years ago for gold and silver and palladium and platinum. They dealt with the physical. This stuff would have already been doubled, tripled. But because they introduced ETFs where you can buy it on the stock market instead of buying the actual physical gold, silver, and precious metals, it's now being able to be manipulated. And you can buy stocks of the minor companies as well. So that's why this stuff isn't true value any longer. In the past, before crypto, there was some sort of true value, but that's only because crypto coincided with when these guys started doing these ETFs, hedge fund stuff, and silver back papers, all this crazy nonsense to siphon off any silver buys from the physical. That's millions of people that normally would have been buying into gold and silver, which would increase the price. There was no crypto, so then people would have been buying gold and silver when the stock market goes down. So they lost all those people that didn't buy into gold and silver, and that's why gold and silver prices haven't tripled, done anything over the last 2-3 years or even the last 6 months. Because traditionally, the market is dropping by 30%, 15%, 20%, 13%. Gold and silver would have rose at least 5 to 10%. But it hasn't. It's still staying in the low 20s for silver, in the 1800s for gold. That's a travesty. But I'm just letting you know that can't hold up forever under these circumstances because they're going to raise the interest rates again. And therefore, people aren't going to be putting their money anxiously rushing into crypto. So what are we going to have? We're going to have people rushing back into gold and silver. So that's why you should always have a little bit of gold and silver. You got that right. And some are balloons that will blow you out as you leave the house. Exactly right, Wilson Koo. Talk that talk. That's what it is. Shrinking month by month. That's right. The GDP, ladies and gentlemen, it is shrinking. Be your own Robin Hood and let the stealing from the rich begin. Exactly, Wilson Koo. I like that. Stealing from the rich begin. In fact, I like that. I got to use that as a title. Hold on a second. Where's my pen, pad, and paper at? Hold on. I got to remember this one. I got to use that for a title. It's probably not going to do well for the hold on a second. That's not going to do well for the algorithm, TubeBuddy, or vidIQ. And by the way, if you're going to be on YouTube, you should download the TubeBuddy, get the app. You can use it for free. And then if you want to upgrade, you can pay to upgrade, but use the app. I have it down near the bottom of the description box, TubeBuddy. That helps you get your keywords in order. And that also helps you with the best title because it rates your title. So that'll give you an idea on which title you want to use. So that's the free version is limited, but at least you can do those two things on the free version. And then if you want to buy the version, then of course it helps you with thumbnails. And you guys know my simple thumbnails. I use TubeBuddy to create my thumbnails. All right. You can use Canva as well to create your thumbnails, but I use TubeBuddy. So the link is down below. There's, like I said, free version or a paid version. The paid version unlocks more things. So I do like the paid version myself. But the free version gives you so many times you can look up a title. It gives you so many keywords that'll allow you to add. I don't think it allows you to add. Well, it'll search and give you only like 20, I think, or something. It's limited. Versus the paid version, it's unlimited, and you can do your YouTube, and they'll make the thumbnails, and you can do A and B. You guys have, I've never done A and B thumbnails, but you can also set up an A and B thumbnail and see which one works the best. You can do all kind of different things with the paid version. But if you're going to be on any YouTube, social media platforms, TubeBuddy also tracks other things as well. You know, it'll track how many new subscribers or how many subscribers you have. It'll tell you milestones, you know, how much, how if you reach 100,000 views or you reached 50 videos uploaded, then it'll remind you of you've done these things. So, but let the stealing from the rich begin. I like that. And I might do a video just what we talked about tonight. Let the stealing from the rich begin. All right. I like that. I think I don't know if it'll do well as far as the for under TubeBuddy for the title ranking, but I'm gonna see how that goes. I like that. That's it exactly, ladies and gentlemen. Wilson Koo has said it right. Jet fuel went up and airlines are upset. Oh, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Summer's here. Wilson Koo, you had to bring up a sore spot. Yeah, unfortunately, your travel in summer is going to be bad. Airlines, if you think they're already outrageous, they're about to get a whole bunch more outrageous. Who knew that you might have to do round trip inside the United States borders, and it might cost you $600, $700, $800 because you could fly to Europe or Mexico for less? Is that crazy? That's crazy. But I have a feeling even international like Europe is going to cost more. But all I'm trying to illustrate is you might be paying $800 round trip to stay inside the borders of America, and you could pay $995 if you live on the East Coast and be in Europe round trip. I mean, come on. This is getting crazy. Curtis Davis. There will be time rates go low again. You win by buying as prices are low and people are feared. That's exactly right, Mr. Financial. Have been seeing a lot of activity on gold mining, of course. Take it out of the ground. It's worth X amount. By the time it gets to the end retailer, it's been marked up. So you want it out of the ground fast, right now. Crypto Pawn Shop is coming out shortly. Company has received funding for launch. Oh my goodness, are you kidding me? So this is legitimate? Oh man, that's funny. All right, ladies and gentlemen, please smash the like button. We're 2 hours in, and I was late this evening, so I want to thank you everybody for being here, even on this late show. And again, please use the links down below. If you want to get in onto some passive income, some business opportunities, then I suggest you join SSN Lifestyle. You don't even have to join the top dog status. You can join, long as you join a membership status, you will be eligible to be in the Ring of Fire, which is our Shark Tank, where you'll be able to invest. We were talking about fingernails to go. You're going to be able to invest in an opportunity with fingernails to go. How simple is that? That's beautiful, but membership does matter. Founders Club gets number one, first dibs. Then it goes to Premier. Then it goes to Elite. Those are the first three. If the funding comes and everybody at the Founders Club, 2-3 people or all 15 say, hey, I want to invest whatever the amount is. Let's just say it's $3,000. That's going to be in the pool to invest in. If the Founders Club members together all put in $3,000 or singly or whatever, it's closed. Premier, Elite, Pro, you have no option to get into it. So that's why membership does matter in that case. But again, you're going to be able to do passive income. I said this on Monday. There's something called the Essence Festival coming up at June 30th through July 3rd. The Essence Festival doesn't start based on hotel check-in, check-out times. June 30th, the party's already started by 4 p.m. Everybody wants to check in early. That's why you might want to come there at June 29th. So you're already checked in at 4 or 5 at night. Now you're chilled. Now you can get up and start your Essence Festival going on morning of June 30th. July 3rd, you have to check out 10 a.m., 11 a.m. Essence Festival still rolling. What's going to happen when 8, 9 o'clock at night comes around? That's why you're going to check out July 4th or 5th. Guess what? SSN Lifestyle members, I suggest you go to the website, send somebody to the website because we have a hot deals there where it's, I don't even know what the price is, but there's a hot deal there. A person normally is going to have to spend 400, 500 a night when there's a kitchen, a bed. That's how it goes, right? And near the French Quarter, by Canal Street, one's in the French Quarter, one's a block away from the French Quarter. You could actually be right in the mix. And then you can go to Caesars. It used to be Mercedes. It's Caesars Arena now, or whatever they call it. But anyhow, walking 1 mile to Caesars, less than that. Well, one of them's like 1 mile. One of them is going to make your walk 3/4 of a mile. But nonetheless, less than what's in the open market, 3/4 to a half of what it would cost in the open market. You guys still can receive commission for referring somebody to that. There's only one. There's going to be two, actually. There's going to be another one added. But the dates on the first one is the 29th through July 5th. The other date, though, is a little different. July 1st. But that's Friday, so that means you might miss the June 30th, the Thursday night event stuff. But hey, there's always somebody that comes late. That's all I'm going to say about it. That's opportunity, ladies and gentlemen, for something you have nothing to do with. And all you had to do was refer some people there using your social media, using your back office, and using your little link that you have. Send them directly to the page. It is legitimate. Beautiful. If you know anything about this, Wilson Koo, let me know about it, because crypto pawn shop, what does that mean? That's what I want to know. Are we talking about somebody's going to use crypto to buy pawn shop items? I mean, I don't understand. I see the name, but crypto pawn shop, the reason why I thought you were joking is because I'm thinking crypto's already in a pawn shop status. Who's going to buy crypto at this point and feel good about it? Because the way the signs are looking, we're talking about things could go down even more in crypto. And I'm going to bring up something. Why don't we go to CoinMarketCap? Because once again, here's another situation where millionaires could be made. Right? Here's another situation. Because you might be able to buy things at sale price. There's going to be some people out here that are going to be go, see, I told you so. An investment is always a risk, no matter what it is. But here it is. This actually went to 20, 21. It's now at 22 as Bitcoin. Ethereum went down to 12. This is incredible. Just think, this was $4,000 at one time. This was 60,000 at one time. 68 or 69, come to think of it, approaching 70 at one time. This was almost approaching 5 at one time, 5,000 for Ethereum. And look at it now, 1,200. And just think, it could actually drop below this. That's what's really, really interesting about crypto. That's why there's certain things. And look, Cardano's still at 52. Can't believe it. Solano, even though it's stopped, it's still worth 34. That's interesting. Wow. Avalanche used to be at 100, now down to 17. And that's a 12% increase at 17. Shiba Inu, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 zeros still. Nothing happening there. Polygon, 42-cent. Matic, geez, Chainlink down to $7. This is scary. Stellar down to 11 cents. See, ladies and gentlemen, this could drop. Oh, okay, let's just put things in perspective. If you're not going to buy now and you're into crypto, when will you buy? That's going to be your real question and your real test. You guys know how I feel. You guys have heard from Professor Antival. And in case you're new here, I'll tell you how I feel about it. I think this could go lower. That's what I think. Well, if Bitcoin goes lower and Ethereum goes lower, that means everything else is going to go lower, right? So what happens if it gets to 11? Is that good enough for you? 15? Or does it have to go to 9 grand or 8 grand? What's the number? In your head, get a number. All right? Because going to 0 is not likely. The only reason I say that is because there's going to be enough people buying if it went down. Let's say if Bitcoin went down to $100, there would be enough people buying. It's not going to go to 0. Something catastrophic would have to happen, like the United States government says we're banning crypto. That's what would have to happen, right? There would have to be something like that to occur. But they're not going to do that because their banks, their hedge funds, their financial institutions are now wrapped up into Bitcoin. So they have a vested interest to make it act like the stock market. And how are we going to do that? Wait around for about another year. How we're going to do that is we're going to do the same thing that I showed you at the beginning. We're going to reduce the interest rates. So then that allows people like, I'll just use Michael Saylor because he's well known that he collateralized his Bitcoin. So that means you're going to have that segment who's going to say, I'm going to collateralize 30 million, 30 billion, 50 billion, 50 million. They're going to use that collateral that they already have and then to purchase more when the price reduces. So that is what's going to happen along with all of us. You're going to have all these people going, we saw this already before when it went from 17,000 down to 3,000. We've seen this playbook before when it went up to 400 and it went down to $30. We've seen this already 4 or 5 times. So we are confident that if it goes down to 10,000, then we know it's probably going to be at 80,000, 90,000 within a year or two. They've seen this playbook before, ladies and gentlemen. But here's the thing. Before, the financial institutions, they were sitting out here poo-pooing crypto. So therefore, they're not poo-pooing them anymore. So that means they're going to play. So that means we have to play if you want to get your millionaire status, ladies and gentlemen, sooner than later. The easier way. All right, let's see what he's got. It is legitimate. You can use your crypto to buy assets and not lose it to depreciation. Okay, well, that's very interesting. But, we can use crypto to buy assets. Okay. So far, you have me a little intrigued because you can already use crypto to buy assets. And I'm assuming you're referring to non-crypto based assets because that's the only way that you're not going to lose depreciation. But anyhow, we'll see what he's saying. Every day I get notifications from Coinbase down 5%. Exactly. Ethereum, 1,100 down from 4,000, 1/4 of its peak. BDC, 18K down from 60K, down 66%, 1/3. And I myself think it's going even lower. JP Morgan has already created their mining farm that is not using on grid power as they are putting their own source. Hey, I didn't know that. But that's very smart. That's very smart, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, look, let's just call it what it is. JP Morgan, Jamie Dimon, and all them guys, they were poo-pooing crypto. And now look at them. But we all knew it was just a matter of time because crypto is where trillions of dollars was being invested in. So they can't ignore it because if that $1 trillion normally, some of that would have been in their bank, deposited in their bank. And then they have to, they have to do something. They can't just sit by and go, hey, there's our money sitting over here in this crypto stuff, trillions of dollars. We better get in. So we got to allow our investors to invest in this stuff, go through our funds and invest in it so we can take some fees out of that. But that $1 trillion over there, man, we blew it. We should have been hanging with these guys 8 years ago instead of me sitting around here talking crazy, along with Warren saying, no, no, no. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. Let me know what you think about it. Are you going to invest at 22? Are you going to put your money in at 18, 17, 12,000, 9,000? And when that happens, you know what's going to happen. a lot of people are going to jump on the bandwagons and they're going to say, see, I told you so. You shouldn't invest in those. It's bad, it's bad, it's bad. Well, like I said, you guys, you got to follow the top 10 percenters. You have top 10 percenters putting their money into crypto. You really think they're just going to say, we're just going to throw our hands up and yeah, we're going to lose hundreds of millions of dollars? I mean, hundreds of billions of dollars? They're not going to do that. They're going to do what they do with the stock market. Same thing. Playbook's already in play. So therefore, you have to buy when it's advantageous for you. 22, yeah, it's low. When you talk 68, 69 down to 22, down to 20, yeah, that's low. But they just raise interest rates. Let's see what happens the rest of the week. All right. Yes, buying non-crypto assets. Okay, that's what I thought. Lots of love. The banks have their hooks in crypto, controlling future and past value of coins. Exactly. That's what's going down. Mr. Financial has it exactly right. That's what we're talking about here. So just giving you guys an idea. That's the playbook. All right. We're going to wrap this up, ladies and gentlemen. But I want to thank you so much for hanging here with me. Thank you so much for your support as always. Everybody with the icon, the members, thank you so much. The subscribers that are watching this while the live is going on and during the replay, thank you so much. I appreciate your support. Now, let's get down to more support. Let's get down to sharing the videos with other people. Because when we're on YouTube, there's a lot of people that just run straight lines, right? They don't run the nuances. Like tonight, we talked about 7, 8 different ways. You even got a surprise from Wilson Koo about crypto pawn shop. We talked about how the recession occurs, how the economy reacts based on if you're going to increase or decrease federal funds rates. We show you why the bond market has to be watched, because if it goes up, you're going to have foreign investment and domestic investment into bonds. That's good for America and its economy. Then they're going to reduce the federal fund rate once they get this at a high enough level that stops the real estate market and makes it go down. When it makes asset classes go down, because the rich have the most money so they can buy up the most assets. But this time, you guys are smart, so you're going to be buying assets when it's near rock bottom prices. It may not be at the very bottom, but if I can buy a $600,000 house that was built 4 or 5 years ago or 3 years or 2 years ago, and that $600,000 house goes down to $300,000, I think it's a good deal. If it goes down to $100,000, highly unlikely, but it could. Am I going to feel bad that I bought it for $300,000? No, because we live in America. We have world currency. We know that house is going to go back up to $600,000 and then some when they reduce the interest rates next time. Whether that's going to be 2 years, 3 years, or 4 years, we don't know. But the point I'm trying to make is that's what's going to happen in the next 4 years, for instance. So that's where you come in. You have to determine what's the value that you're looking for. And I personally am going to tell you, I'm looking for 60, 70% off now, because I think it's worse than before. Worse than any time before. That's what I'm looking at. So if you're talking about $700,000, $600,000 house going down not to 400, but you take off 70%, 7 times 7, 49, 490, 290,000, 300,000. Yeah, that's what I'm looking for, ladies and gentlemen. All right. Now, if it doesn't get there and only gets to 60, maybe I'll pull the trigger at 60, but we'll see. It's all nuances, because we're going to have to figure out, is it this the lowest because of why, or why are prices now going up? Well, it's going to be easy if they're reducing the interest rate every 3 months. Then we know we're at the bottom. There's no reason to sit there and say it's going to drop. But if they come out and said, hey, we're not going to decrease the federal funds rate to make investing a thing, then you can say, okay, maybe I can wait a little longer. Let's see what happens. But it also depends on if we're going 8%, 3%. It's going to depend on the interest rate from the mortgage lenders. If it's at 10% and it goes to 7%, okay, that's reasonable. Prices, whatever. But if it goes from 7 and they keep doing this 7 to 5, in 1 year, 5 to 4, all of a sudden, if it gets down to 4 again, then you're going to start having prices increase. But you're going to know this already. That's what I'm trying to tell you. So that's why if you want millionaire status, you might want to play with real estate, and you might want to pay attention to your cryptocurrencies. If this isn't rock bottom, which it probably isn't, in my opinion, I think it's going to go 30% lower. I mean, that's just my opinion. We're talking about somewhere between 15% to 25%, I should say, lower Bitcoin price I'm referring to. So we're going to get to 17, but I think there'll be a run because more people are into it. So I think that's why it could go to 15, 14, 13. I don't know about under 10. That would be incredible if that happened. And that would mean Ethereum would be like $500 or something, $400. And BNB would be like, well, if they get out of their SEC thing, but they will, they could be at $50 or something. So you're going to have opportunity if it goes down that far. I wouldn't say bail out, but I would say invest. All right, ladies and gentlemen, smash that like button. And if you like what we're talking about tonight, please join us on Friday night at 9:10 p.m. Another live stream. I might be dropping a video about let the stealing from the rich begin. That would be interesting. It's going to be based on what we talked about tonight, though, but that's pretty cool. And I'll probably add in some other things. So let that roll in. And again, please join. You can have that icon next to your name, just like Wilson Koo does. Just like about another 10 to 15 people here have icons next to their name. That means you have joined to become a member of the channel, and that means additional support. But please subscribe to the channel, and please, again, smash that like button because that helps out the YouTube algorithms. And then more importantly, share the videos with others because there's a lot of people out here that they don't understand that they're being fed certain things like, this person's doing this, or I'll put it this way, this president's doing this. This Congress is doing that. This Senate is doing that. When in reality, all it takes is the Federal Reserve, which can do whatever they want. All it takes is for them to go, we're going to reduce interest rates to spur the economy, or we want the economy to slow down, we're going to raise the interest rates. It's literally that simple. And so now you'll understand why you may have a president that says, hey, I want you to reduce interest rates. Or you may have a president that says, I want you to increase interest rates. I don't know what benefit that would be, but nonetheless, that's the dichotomy of the situation. So all I'm trying to say is now you understand it has nothing to do with actual politics other than the fact that there's some other repercussions because of policies that are going to be implemented. But that's the whole thing right there. You need to have the best financial position you can be in because the policies that are implemented, you never know what's going to happen. All right. So again, thank you everybody for being here. Thank you for watching. And please like, subscribe, and click the bell below so you get the latest updates. And I know it's hard out here. And that's why we talked the full gamut tonight. Even though I was a little bit late, a lot of it late, we still talked about millionaire status and how to get it, ladies and gentlemen. Money time is here. Let's go. Make sure you're trying to get the money and the timing. We cannot figure out the bottom. Just put that out there. Nobody's going to predict the bottom. The same people that are predicting the bottom are the same guys that was saying, this is the bottom 2 years ago. This is the bottom 3 years ago. This was the bottom 6 months ago. Nobody can predict the bottom. Just like I'm going to call out the guys that are talking about gold, silver, the guys that have been saying, yeah, you better buy gold and silver for the last 8 years because things are going to be bad. Well, fine. You can buy the gold and silver for the last 8 years, but the problem with that is you missed out on 300, 400, 500, 1,000, 2,000% returns while you have money sitting in luggage or in a safe. That didn't make any sense. Why would you want to miss out on all that kind of money? Because you know that the federal funds rate were going down. That spurs the economy. That means all asset classes go up. Gold and silver didn't go up 20% year over year. It didn't go up 40% the last 2 years. Real estate did, right? Crypto went up from 2018 to 2021. Up and down, but up nonetheless. 60 some $1,000 was Bitcoin. Lots of people bought it 17. No, lots of people bought it 3,000 when everybody said, oh, see, we told you so. 3,000 to 60, ladies and gentlemen. You start doing the numbers. All right. That changed, that made millionaires right there. Right. But the people that were holding the gold and silver, they were like, okay, it went from $10, $12, and we're looking at 21, 22 for silver now. Gold went from 1,100 and we're looking at 1,800. That would have made 0 sense for the last 8 years. But you got people for 10 years talking about the sky is falling, you better get this stuff. And all you would have done was, best case scenario, wouldn't even have doubled your money in the last 5. That's crazy with today's prices. So I'm just saying, you have to understand what you're investing in and why. All right. Now would be a better time to buy gold and silver than other times because they're raising the interest rate. Inflation is running rampant. People don't want to invest that much into crypto. Wait and see attitude. People don't want to be diving into the stock market because of historical records. So therefore, more people might want to start buying gold and silver. It's just natural. You have higher demand. Price can go up. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. How about that? That's number 10 for the night. And that was the end. And with all that said, ladies and gentlemen, keep your head up. Keep moving. And I'm out.